All right, guys, enough is enough. Enough is enough, guys. Seriously. Guys, welcome. It's the Original OC channel, Smartwatch Talk for the Smart Collector. It is Wednesday, the 12th of November, 2025. And listen, we're gonna settle some beefs here. We're going to bring peace to the Middle East once and for all. These beefs and these feuds are counterproductive. They're really counterproductive. We're going to bring peace to the Middle East on tonight's show. Now, I got a lot of negative comments on my last show, which is members only. A lot of negative comments. And so I want to let you know, I want to come clean and let you know that I heard about all those negative comments. I processed it. Listen, the feedback that you guys sent to me, I really do take it into account. So a lot of you watched last night's show, which is members only. It's a members only show. If you want to see it, you got to become a member. A lot of you watched it and reached out to me and said, listen, OC, we're not happy. We are not happy. You need to do something about this. And I listened very carefully to the feedback. And you know what? You're right. My hair looked like shit. My hair was out of control, guys. So I took care of it today. But listen, based on viewer feedback, I did get a haircut today. Thank you very much for that. The feedback was overwhelming. It was astounding. They're like, OC, we love you, but you got to take care of this, man. Just in case you missed it, there's kind of going on that we need to settle. We kind of need to get this taken care of. We need to have peace. We really, really do. So I know that Nico is in Dubai. I'm headed to Dubai in a couple of days. I'm sure Roman will be in Dubai. We need to fix this before Dubai. We just need to we need to fix this. So I think we can do it. I think we can do it pretty quickly. I think we can do it and we can do it quickly. We can get it done. Let's see who's in the chat. Already got over 30 people watching. I do think there is a very good likelihood, very strong chance that neither Nico nor Roman will jump on the show today. They're not supposed to. They're not. No one confirmed that they're coming on. How about that? But there are. I mean, today kind of like exploded, and now is a good time to kind of put it to rest. I mean, before it escalates, we need to kind of like put it to bed before it escalates. I'm friends with both these guys in a way. Look at the thumbnail. I'm definitely on friendly terms with Nico. Nico and I have communicated a lot over the years. Roman, listen. I mean, we can talk about the video that Roman did today, but I'd rather not focus on that. I'd rather focus on healing and mending the wounds, building the bridges, and putting the stuff to bed. But I mean, but if they don't jump on, that's cool. We'll provide you guys with a recap of what's going on. We'll do a recap, but we want to do the recap to lay the foundation for peace. The last thing we want to do is inflame and exploit the issue for political gain. You know me, that's not my style. I'm just kidding. You know me, I would never milk this for content. No, but seriously, like Nico and Roman, they're Roman's. I'm going to see Roman in a couple days at the 1916 Company Watch Fair. I'm sure he's going to be there. I'm going to see both of them in Dubai. at all the events going on. We should put this to bed before we even get to Dubai, guys. MD Chaz, member of the OC channel, released the Wizard files. Let's not open up that can of worms tonight. Let's not go there. Let's not go there. Got Whole Milk in the chat, who's not a member, but he says, he wants me to sing it here. Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? Awful. See what you made me do, Whole Milk? Got Jen G in the chat. Are you going to broker peace? Oh, that's my goal. Absolutely. My goal tonight is to broker peace. I don't want this issue blown up and all over social media. I actually want these guys to jump on, do their little thing, put it to rest, then delete their videos. And that means Nico deleting his posts and Roman maybe deleting his advertisement for Hublot, or maybe editing it so like he takes all those negative connotations out about. I actually haven't watched the thing. I haven't watched it yet, so I could watch it for the first time with you guys. It's a 10-minute video, but maybe we can broker peace without even looking at the content. You know. Floodland 99.99 without Stefano. This doesn't even feel right. Stefano's in hiding. You know, that is kind of a sore subject. He does need to be brought to justice. Absolutely. There needs to be accountability for the Wizard. Sadly, Whole Milk says, I fear this conflict will be harder to settle than the Troubles. I think it can be solved pretty quickly. I think a lot of times these people have these feuds on social media and it becomes tit for tat for tit for tat. I mean, I know what it's like, like, you comment on somebody's video and then they comment back and all of a sudden it becomes this beef. These two guys are like, Roman is the head of Luxury Bazaar. Nico is a multi-million subscriber YouTuber. It's enough. But come on, man. We really need to put an end to this. It's easy to do. It's easy. They can jump on and we'll settle it. And here, this is exactly the kind of neutral platform that can broker Middle East peace. There's no other platform that can do it. I mean, where are they going to go, really? Really, I mean, think about it. Where are they going to go? Where they're going to get fair, intellectual, analytical, and impartial moderation? Nowhere. Bamal says, tear down this wall, Roman Shav. Nico Reagan. Tear down this wall. Gorbachev. Got the Yiddish Liberwachi here. Hey, watch PayPal. 2 unapproved brand pickups today. He buys and trades and sells too many watches. But he's a dealer. He's basically a dealer. Yiddish Liberwachi is basically a de facto dealer. He's not an enthusiast. He's not a collector. Jump on if you disagree. James says, you're not happy? How can you? I wasn't happy with. No, the audience wasn't happy with my haircut. They were furious at my hair. So I got it taken care of. I got it shaved. I've got lines in it, like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Ryan Hofer is in the chat. We got David Goncalves. Let me know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. It's kind of a 3-syllable last name. It's tough. David Goncalves. He's new to the channel, new to the chat. Hope you're enjoying the new channel. Send me some feedback on Instagram or in the comments after the show. What do you like? What do you not like? What topics do you want covered? If you're new to this channel, make sure you're subscribed. You enable notifications, all that good stuff. Hey, look at this blast from the past. Rene De La Pan is here. One of my favorite DJs in the entire world. Although he has stiff competition because Mathis is now one of the leading DJs in Florida. Yeah, Mathis has a full event entertainment business in Florida. And part of it is that he's now one of the top DJs. Shout out to Mathis. But Renee is my favorite DJ in Europe. Guys, let's get to 20 likes. 20 likes on the live stream. Got Dr. Kevin Moore here. If this Roman person is against Nico, I'm with him. Okay. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Okay, I get it. What's up, Dr. Kevin? He was on the panel the other day. He jumped on. Praying for peace between Roman and Nico in this Advent season. What does the Advent mean? Let me look it up. I got to look it up in my Funkin' Wagnalls. Advent definition. Advent means is a general term for an arrival or coming, and the Christian liturgical season of preparation for Christmas. Okay, got it. So it's like a religious connotation. Got it. The 4-week period leading up to Christmas. I learn something new every day. Learn something new with this chat. Who else do we have? Oh, look, Renee Delapon, 12 euro super chat for your next haircut. My haircut was 30 US. Thank you for the super chat, Renee. 30 US plus a $10 tip. So 40 total. Not bad. It's not bad for a haircut. You know? Okay, this is an interesting comment here. This is like a constructive, substantive comment about today's happenings, because the eruption in today's kind of feud, if you can call it that, it's around Hublot, believe it or not. If Roman supports Hublot, then I double support him. I'm going to buy 2 watches in the next year. One of them is another Hublot. Dr. Kevin Moore is definitely Team Hublot and Team Roman here. That's all. That's good. Everyone's welcome to provide their comments in the chat. I just want to broker peace. I just want peace for these guys. I want peace in the Middle East leading up to Dubai. Mathis, did you get a free steak dinner from Roman too, or just TPG? Right, Mathis isn't in the chat. Thank you, Whole Milk. Invite them to Camp David. Invite them to Camp David for Camp David is like a basement dubbed OC Studios. Although I do have a nice OC patio with a pool in the backyard. I bet that both Nico and Roman have better backyards than I do, though. Tea and Tickers. Look how cynical Tea and Tickers is. What happened to Tickers? You only want them on for the views. Admit it. How dare you? How dare you question my motives? I have one goal and one goal only, Tickers, and that is to bring peace and prosperity to the Middle East. These two should bury the hatchet. Really, enough is enough. It's time for peace. I mean, there's no reason to inflame this topic any further. Should be put to bed. Put to bed. And here, okay, there's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do. Special link for Nico or Roman. If Nico or Roman want to jump on the panel, if they want to prove that this is not about the views, it's not about the clicks, it's about solving this issue, putting it to bed. And we can only do it. We can't do it with one of them on, because if Nico jumps on, I'm gonna encourage him to be peaceful, and if Roman jumps on, I'm gonna encourage him to do the same. We actually don't even need both. We actually don't need either of them. We just need both of them to watch this, realize what they're doing is silly. Take down the videos. Take down the videos. The Hublot thing we do need to talk about, though, because it's a legitimate issue. because Roman is being roasted, absolutely roasted in the comments. So we need to talk about that. For those of you who are not familiar, we will bring you up to speed in 5 minutes on all of the latest happenings. Gatsby's in the chat. Gatsby's in Canada. Breaking news. I have a reliable confirmation of a wizard sighting at a Toronto area authorized dealer a couple of weeks ago. Apparently, he's still in business. That is outrageous. That's outrageous that he would even be allowed to step foot in any kind of jewelry store or watch dealer after what he's done. After he stole $400,000 from the watch community. That's disturbing. Stefano should not be allowed to do business. He should be in jail. Jail for his crimes. Absolutely. The guy should be in jail. Yep. It was about the hair, James. That's what it was about. That's where all the comments were flooding in. Hey, Matthias is in the chat. Matthias is here. Who else do we have? Who else do we have? That's it. That's all. Those. If you type a comment, there's 40 people watching. Type a comment in the chat. I will say hi to you. I want to greet everybody who's here. John Galt, Advent is the season preceding Christmas. Thank you very much for the education. I looked it up on Schmoogle and Wikipedia. So, yeah, this is the 4-week period leading to Christmas. I didn't know that. I've never used the word Advent in that context in my life. You guys are smart. That's why this is the OC channel Smart Watch Talk for the Smart Collector. Everybody here is way, way above average IQ. Only the high IQ collectors here. It's true. I know of at least one authorized dealer that he has been to. That's disheartening. That's disheartening. Whole Milk says you can tell OC wasn't lying about being Jewish. No. No, I don't know about Advent. Ticker says you had not heard of Advent calendars. Nope. Not familiar with Advent. I wasn't familiar with the poppy. I wasn't familiar with the poppy either. You know, I'm not well read. I'm like Mathis. I don't really read. I don't read books. Chielski. Nico had a beef previously with Trax NYC. Remember they had that feud where they got into the boxing ring or whatever? It's possible that it's all set up, Roman, to gain views and money. I don't think so. Not in this case. This is not a case of, this is not a case of Nico and Roman feuding in order to for popularity or for clicks. Not at all. Now, is Roman, from what I understand, is Roman taking money from Hublot to pump up Hublot because he bought a whole shipment of discounted product from a distributor and he's in a position to sell that at a big profit by pumping up Hublot? I don't know. But I think it's been established, unless someone's lying, that Roman Sharf was paid to do a video that he released today on Hublot, and he didn't disclose it. He didn't disclose that he was paid behind the scenes. That is an issue. That is a problem. But I think it could be solved pretty quickly if Roman takes the video down and returns the money. And I don't know what you guys think about that, but I think that'd be a good place to start. Take down the video about Hublot. Hublot's a good brand, by the way. I have nothing against Hublot. I've never had hate for Hublot. I don't recommend them. They're not one of my approved brands. But, I never called them garbage. I never ranked them below, shite on the list. I never did that. But I do think it's an issue if you're taking money from Hublot, you're not disclosing it just to pump them up. and sell a bunch of stock out there before the holidays. That is an issue. Ryan Hofre stole God. What does that mean? Stole God knows how many tens of thousands in good people's watch. Oh, stole. I can't read this. You gotta watch auto chat, autocorrect, guys, because I don't know what this means. He stole something. Knows how many watches, tens of thousands. Yeah, he stole hundreds of thousands from people in the watch community. He has the audacity to show his face in an authorized dealer. Yeah, I couldn't understand the first part, Ryan. Be more careful when you're typing. We've got Hot Watcher in the chat. How can one man love everything? Even watches have ugly cousins. It's not, if it's not from the chosen brands, let's not waste oxygen discussing it. Well, I think we should be discussing Hublot today because it's at the center of this controversy. So we can't ignore, guys, we have to cover breaking news. Okay, we have to have an obligation to cover breaking news. Okay, and we'll get to the Roman video. I don't want to play the Roman video. I don't want to play it, and I don't want to play Nico's videos either. I'd rather that we not. I just want them to make peace. Make peace. Jump on the panel. Make peace. Delete your videos and call a truce. It's time for peace in the Middle East, guys. Gatsby again. Stefano Della Costa, the wizard, was spotted by several people at the Toronto Timepiece show last year. He's definitely not hiding in a cave. Well, he should be. I know he was spotted like 3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, but not last year. I thought that was 2023 that he was spotted when someone took a video of him in Toronto. Gatsby, check your timelines. Was that last year or the year before? I don't think he's been seen in at least 2 years. But definitely, if this guy shows his face in public, he will. That's not a good idea for him to be seen in public. The guy's on the run. He's on the lam, guys. He's a fugitive. He's a fugitive from justice who should be held to account. He should be in prison. The wizard should be in prison for what he did. But let's not talk about the wizard today. Watches on Wood, what's up? Good to see you in the chat. 70 Soul is here. Their beef is entertainment. You can't change Nico's opinion about Hublot. OC said many times, do not buy Hublot. Yeah, but I've said that about hundreds of brands. I've said that, and I've never been paid. I've never been paid by a watch brand to either say something positive or negative. But the allegation tonight, and it hasn't been disputed, is that Roman was paid by Hublot to create this video where he trashes Nico and promotes Hublot. I don't know. I haven't seen the video yet. This is a still from the video that I just clicked on, but I haven't actually watched the video. Shielski says, the question is, why is Roman coming out with this now after Nico spent 4 to 5 years bashing Hublot? Why now? Well, we know. I think we know because he was paid by Hublot to do the video. That's what Nico said. There's nothing. I was gonna say there's nothing wrong with taking money from brands to promote brands, but for me, I'm philosophically against that. I think we have way too many social media douchebag influencers who are taking money behind the scenes to promote Oris and Norquan, and even brands that are okay brands like Moser or whatever. I mean, they're taking money to promote these brands and they're not disclosing it. They're free trips, free watches, free gifts, free junkets, and they're not disclosing it. And then on top of it, they're buying subs, they're buying views to make their channels look bigger than they are. It's a fucking travesty. So I don't take a dime from a retailer. I don't take a dime from a brand. Now, do I cover watch events? Yes, I do. In exchange for access, do I promote the event? Yes, I do. Full transparency. Full transparency. I did it with Bucherer Watch Week. I promoted Bucherer Watch Week. They gave me access to be the exclusive videographer and live streamer from Bucherer Watch Week. I did it with 1916 Company event. I promoted the event. They gave me exclusive access. Speaking of exclusive access, join me this Friday and Saturday. If you're in the Philadelphia area, join me this Friday and Saturday for the 1916 Company Watch Fair. I will be live streaming. I'm the exclusive live stream platform for the 1916 Company. But don't watch it on the live stream. Come in person. Come in person, make an appointment, learn more at the1916company.com. That's an example of my promoting something in exchange for access, special access. And I'm going to be live streaming from 1916 Company, and I'll be there signing autographs. I'll have a table with 8x10s, black and whites. No, come to 1916 Company Watch Week, the Watch Fair. It's going to be fun. If anyone has a link or a copy of the stream where Stefano I have that. I'm not going to play that. I have that, Gatsby. I was one of the guys that Stefano tried to rip off. Everybody here remembers that. I was one of the guys. I was the person who went public. I'm the one who outed the wizard publicly. First person to do it. He tried to scam me for $32,000. I think the people who are owed money are owed something more important than money. They're owed justice. They are owed justice. Did Nico respond? Yes, he responded. He has responded. But I don't want to play the video and I don't want to play the response. I actually just want to see if we can make peace. I think we can do it. 2024 was the first year of the Toronto Timepiece Show. This year was only the second year it ran. What month was that, Gatsby? It seems like a really, really long time ago that video surfaced of Stefano wandering around, chatting up that girl at the table. Yeah, what month was that in 2024? Seems like forever ago. Vimal says, I just watched the Roman video and Hublot got more than bang for the buck. So in other words, for their $25,000 that they paid, they got more exposure or more positive comment. I mean, what do you mean, Vimal? Let us know. I haven't watched the video yet. I have not watched it. I'd rather not watch it. I don't want to watch a video about these feuds. Come on, we're better than that. We're better than that. We can end this right here and now. We can put this in the past. Two days ago, we were questioning Nico's integrity. We were? Who was? And now this Roman is under suspicion, the latest hobby of watch nerds and witch hunts. There's a lot of we need to settle these YouTube beefs, these social media beefs, and move on. Right? Enough of these fake feuds for clicks and views. No. Brody, member of the C channel. OC went public first. That's right. That's right. You got 24 hours to go public, or else I'm going to go public. And you don't want me to go public. Motherfucker. That seems like ancient history. Seems like ages ago. Holy shit. Going public. Holy shit. Yeah, that was another feud, remember? Remember the Nico Ashin thing? Holy fuck. I tried to broker peace with that too. I actually knew both of them at the time. Crazy, crazy times. September 2024? Really? It was only a year ago that that video of Stefano surfaced? Fuck. Seems like a lot longer ago than that. Roman has done more to sell Hublot than Hublot itself. The only Hublot, I mean, Hublot, I think their brand ambassador, like the biggest brand ambassador I know that they have is the tennis player. Djokovic, Novak Djokovic. What's his name? Djokovic Novak, something. I don't know his name. It's like a Czechoslovakian player or something. I can't remember. I don't even know. He's a good player, really good player. I think he's an Hublot ambassador. Other than that, I don't know any ambassador. But I mean, they're struggling. Hublot is absolutely struggling. Their volume is down, I think, 35 to 40% from a couple of years ago. They may be close to being out of business. James Hess says, "No, we're not better than this." Listen, we're not better than this. OC, play the videos. Listen, let's milk these videos and exploit them for all they're worth. You were about Raymond Wheel. That's true. I did call him out about Raymond Wheel. 100%. That's right. I called Nico out for, well, he's a Raymond Wheel dealer, and then he put them at like, a high level, like they're a great. I called him. I did call him out for that. 100%. 100%. Let's see here. Hublot does a really good job, says Whole Milk, with marketing, actually. Kylian Mbappe is a I don't know who is that? Kylian Mbappe. I don't want to offend anybody by not knowing who this is. Not knowing who this is. The problem with the Wizards, says Ryan Hofre, is he hasn't been convicted yet. He hasn't been convicted yet. So legally, you couldn't put him on blast as a known thief. Only some in the community know. Well, actually, I'll go out on a limb and say, without equivocation, that the Wizard should be behind bars for his crimes. So I don't have to. I'm not worried about the legalese of that kind of thing. We know the guy's a crook. The Wizard's a crook. I'm here to say the Wizard is a crook, and it's undisputed. And he should be behind bars. Guys who commit crimes should be behind bars. And I have no problem saying it. No problem. Brody says, let's see what the beef is about. Pull up the Hublot video. Pull up an Hublot. Frosted Carbon. Mecha 10 Frosted Carbon. Okay, hold on a second. Hublot Mecha 10 Frosted Carbon. Pull it up, OC. Pull it up. Okay, I will. Let's find a good article about it here where I got some good pictures. Pull up a nice fat picture here. Boom. There you go. Not a bad looking watch. Not a bad. I don't have any problem with this watch. These look cool to me. I don't know how much they are, but I got no issue with Hublot. I wouldn't buy them. I wouldn't. I wouldn't make them part of my collection, but that's okay. What do you think? What do you think of that? I mean, maybe we should watch the video. I don't know. Watches on Wood says, I've never questioned any gray market dealer's integrity. I know exactly what regard in which to hold them, which is apparently not very high, if I understand your insinuation. Gatsby says, I think a lot of people would love to see the wizard convicted. The problem is business failure is not a crime. And making a case for fraud, a fraud conviction is very difficult. Yeah, I mean, but he knew that. That's how he structured his con, because he was in Canada. A lot of the people who he scammed were in the United States and different places. It's very, very hard to seek justice. There was no business failure there. I mean, it was straight up scamming, full blown theft. Oh, see, you suck at brokering peace. Every feud you tried to resolve has gotten worse. It's probably true. Probably true. Nadal is no longer an Hublot ambassador. I think he was at one point. Thank you, Dr. Kevin. We got Diego M in the chat. His comments are always pretty insightful. Why would a brand, in this case Hublot, reach out to a secondary dealer for publicity and marketing? Had it gotten that bad for them? Are they that desperate? That's a good point. Why is Hublot doing that? Why would Hublot reach out to a gray market dealer? Well, because the gray market dealer maybe has a social media presence, a big YouTube presence, maybe. The thing is, like, the YouTube presence of like a place like Luxury Bazaar is like a sliver of what it used to be 3 years ago. I mean, 2 years ago, I mean, those videos got tons of views. Now they barely get any views. I mean the Roman Sharf YouTube channel or the Luxury Bazaar channel, it's like nobody watches that stuff. Very, very small channel now. Got the 70 Soul in the chat. What's up, 70? Good to have you here. I got St. Peter in the chat. What's up, St. Peter? Need 50 grand. I need 50 grand. All right. I guess I'll play a little bit of the Hublot video. Watches on Wood. Can we get 5 watch nerds in the ring and just fight it out with these guys? Paul Thorpe, Tim Masso, Asheen, Nico, and Roman. Roman entering the arena on a mobility scooter would be cool. I remember that. Roman! I was holding the camera. Those are the good old days. No, the frosted carbon one. Okay, hold on a second. Hublot frosted carbon. See, I don't know anything about these watches. That's the issue. Okay. Boom. Here we go. Mecha 10 frosted carbon, $28,600. Okay, that's pricey. It's pricey for sure, but it's forged carbone. Pull up a picture here. Check it out, guys. It is forged carbone. What do you think? He likes it. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. Gatsby says, we all know the wizard is a thief. Oh, see, good. I'm glad we can all agree on that. But his defense will be that his clients suffered the effects of a business failure and that their losses were not his intention, therefore not fraud. You know, sometimes we don't, sometimes the legal system, sometimes like the legal system isn't the best source of justice. You know, there are ways of achieving justice that are outside of, the court system. There's such thing as karma. There's karma, right? People, there's things that are often done to achieve justice that don't necessarily have to follow. Just because the legal system is going to let him get away with it, that doesn't mean that he should evade and elude justice. Okay, so let's do it. Let's play the video, and you guys can give me your thoughts. Give me your thoughts on this. This is the video that I do want peace, though. I want peace. Peace in the Middle East. But we do have to see what this video... I got to see what this video is all about. Ready?
All you influencers and keyboard warriors say that...
Oh my God. It's not starting off on a good note here. When was the legal system ever an instrument for justice? Got it. All right, cool. Let's that's not a good start. Let's see what this is all about here, really, seriously.
All you influencers and keyboard warriors say that Hublot is dog shit.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Or perhaps I can change your mind.
People love to say Hublot is absolute. Let's add some small print to that, with zero substance behind it. Simply jumping on a bandwagon of what they see and hear on social. But apparently you have some substance behind this, so let's listen in.
Definitely with a shitty movement of Hublot.
They pack that movement into a fancy...
Why is he getting paid by Hublot to trash other YouTubers? Why isn't he just talking about the great aspects of Hublot? Why do you have to start off a video by trashing other social media personalities? This is just weird. It's a weird video.
Let's listen in.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Or perhaps I can change your mind.
Why do people say Hublot sucks? Okay.
People love to say Hublot is absolute.
Is it Hublot or Hublot? Like, I always thought that you didn't pronounce the H. Like, it's kind of like a French sounding name. So it's like, it's Hublot. Like, I don't know. Like, we need to get like Jenny L here or somebody. Can we get somebody on the stream who knows French? Because I always thought it was the H was silent and the T was silent. And it was Hublot, not Hublot. Did he just say Hublot? Is that how you pronounce it? Maybe I've been wrong the whole time. Guys, which one is it? Is it Hublot with an H or is it Hublot with a silent H? Let me know in the chat.
Let's add some small print to that with zero substance behind it. Simply jumping on a bandwagon of what they see and hear on social. But apparently you have some substance behind this, so let's listen in.
Definitely with a shitty movement of Hublot.
They packed that movement into
He said Hublot too.
a fancy case with some marketing, and suddenly it's worth $15,000.
But the problem with these watches is you're not getting an in-house movement.
On the inside, it was really nothing special.
But let's jump back for a second because, this does require a bit of a history lesson. This brand was founded in 1980 by an Italian designer, Carlo Crocco, branding it with an iconic gold and rubber. But it was Jean-Claude Biver, a living icon in that industry, who was at the utmost important for the brand in 2004, which, by the way, marked the beginning of the Fusion era.
By the way, I do want to point out that during the course of this program, we will be playing copyrighted content, and we're playing that copyrighted content consistent with the United States copyright law under fair use. So we will be providing, we will be playing this because it's fair use, newsworthy. We're providing commentary, satirical value, comedic value, all that stuff. But this is newsworthy, so we are playing copyrighted content under fair use, consistent with U.S. copyright law. And I might as well also take the opportunity to say that the views and opinions expressed by people in the chat, people in the panel, and Original OC do not represent the views of the Original OC channel or Original the Brand LLC. Thank you.
Of materials like ceramic, carbon, king.
So some of the criticism of Hublot was that they didn't have in-house movements and that they used cheaper off-the-shelf movements. That's way before my time. I was like a kid when that happened.
And of course, in 2005, the launch of the Big Bang literally revolutionized the watch world. And as a result, in about 3 years, due to JCB's effort, arguably the most powerful luxury group in the world, LVMH, acquired the brand. If you know the other brands that are their umbrella, it's safe to assume they bought them for a reason. Just a little over a year later, we were introduced to Hublot's in-house movements, like the Unico, the Mecca, the Microrota 6035, the 6011, the most important.
It's a lot of. Am I playing this at like 2 times speed? He's talking so fast. He's talking so fast here. But yes, okay. So LVMH bought them, and then they introduced in-house movements. This is an interesting history lesson for me. I don't know anything about watches.
Impressive MP movements that brought forth some of the most impressive innovation, dare I say. Hublot started the same way the majority of brands started.
Is it Hublot? I really can't get past the fact that he's pronouncing it Hublot.
But an off-the-shelf movement with the ultimate goal to create their own. So let me make a bold statement here. Ida, Sellita, Valjoux are not cheap movements. It's not the cost to the manufacturer that actually defines the quality, but the actual quality of the movement. All of these are workhorse movements, I like to call them, on which respective companies spend years in research and development to make sure one simple thing, and that is that they will work and will last. Now, an Ida Insider Tissot is not the same.
Do you guys agree with this? Like that these big movement companies like Eda, Valjoux, etc., Sellita, that there's really nothing wrong with them. They're just these, I mean, they're not cheap. They're just mass-produced movements. I mean, the IWC Ingenieur received a little bit of criticism for using the same movement that was in a Baum and Mercier, right? So the movements matter to us stupid watch nerds that are spending $13,000 on a watch or $50,000 on a watch. The movements, like, they kind of matter, right? But let's. I'm going to go back just a little bit so I understand his argument here. They're not cheap. Sellita, they're not cheap. They're just. Let me see if I understand it.
Statement here: Ida, Sellita, Valjoux.
Did he just say Ida? Ida? What the hell's going on with the pronunciation here? Nico did a video. He pronounced Bulgari. Then we have people pronouncing Hublot as Hublot. I don't know what's going on here. And now he's pronouncing Eda as Ida. Is it Ida? I mean, I just thought people call them Eda movements. For fuck's sake, I'm way out of the loop. I need a pronunciation coach.
not cheap movements. It's not the cost to the manufacturer that actually defines the quality, but the actual quality of the movement. All of these are workhorse movements, I like to call them, on which
It's not the cost of the movement. It's not the cost of the movement. It's not the cost to make the movement. It's the quality of the movement.
Salida, Valjoux are not cheap movements. It's not the cost to the manufacturer that actually defines the quality, but the actual quality of the movement. All of these are workhorse movements, I like to call them, on which respective companies spend years in research and development to make sure one simple thing, and that is that they will work and will last. Now, an Ida Insider Tissot is not the same.
Okay, and Ida, it's making me hungry. Sorry, I had to check something real quick. By the way, Brody with a flamingo blue highlight comment, $2 super chat. Upvote, you freeloaders. Thank you, Brody. Thank you for reminding everybody to upvote and super chat. Thank you.
As the one in Omega or Tudor. And this is where the price of the watch differs from brand to brand with seemingly the same guts. You mentioned Longines. Well,
hold on. I need to do a poll. Sorry, I need to do a poll real quick. Hold on a second here. Got to do a poll. Start a poll. How do you pronounce the brand? Is it Hublot or Hublot? Boom. Vote in the poll. The poll is live. See, some people are typing in some comments in the chat. Let's just vote. Let's just vote and fucking end this thing. The results of this poll will be binding. The results of this poll will be binding. So let some people vote, figure it out. Because like, Ida, is it Ida movements? The hell, crazy. All right. Hey, that's a cool look, Roman. I love that look. Let's continue on. So far, okay, like the thing is he shouldn't have done that little bit in the beginning where he was trashing the YouTubers. That's not good. That's not good for Hublot. It's just like, it's dumb. Why would you, these guys are supposed to be friends. Like the thing is, why can't we all be friends? We need to get along. I'm good with Nico. I'm good with Roman. These guys should be good with each other. This is silly.
Produce 1 million watches a year. Hublot produces 40,000 watches a year. Who do you think pays less? Oh yeah, here's a little kicker for you. Longines and Ida are owned by the same group, i.e. the SWAT group. And by the way, at the time MDM used those movements, they were very comparably priced to other brands to include the first Big Bang. So what's not the same? Now, while Hublot still uses some base movements and some of their less expensive models, these are heavily modified. They're decorated, adjusted, or sometimes even re-engineered. Do you know the cost behind things like
this? This sounds like paid product placement. It sounds like an advertising video. I mean, is it educational? Sure, but it's got a lot of kind of promotional slant to it. It's very one-sided.
Geneva stripes, perlage, skeletonized rotors, how about polished and black-coated bridges or custom date wheels? I also love how you downplay fancy case and marketing. How about the first ever modular case mixing ceramic, steel, Kevlar, earlier mentioned rubber, which won the GPHG Best Design Prize? How about King Gold, which doesn't fade, or Magic Gold that doesn't scratch on their cases?
No one is disputing the fact that Hublot is like one of the kings of alternative materials and innovative materials and alloys. They were the first watch brand to introduce rubber as a luxury strap. Is that the issue with Hublot? Is that why people don't like them? All this, I mean, listen, if the problem was with their movements originally, then that issue should have died 15 years ago because they're using in-house movements. So what's the problem? That's not the problem anymore.
This is a fact. I actually tried scratching the case with a drill bit myself while I was in their lab visiting. They're the only company.
That Magic Gold's pretty cool shit. That alloy between gold and ceramic, it's pretty bitchin'. They do a lot of cool stuff. We saw the concrete watch. It's concrete and ceramic. Actually, concrete powder. I've covered it on the live stream before. It's a pretty cool watch.
That produces crystal cases on an industrial scale, literally grow their own synthetic crystal. Now, I know you're going to say Longines has won a multitude of awards. Very true.
Nope, I wasn't going to say that. I wasn't even thinking about Longines.
But mostly for chronometry, and mostly in the mid-1800s and early 1900s. Don't get me wrong, Longines is a wonderful brand and still sits at the number.
Is it Longines or Longines? I don't pronounce the S on this is driving me crazy, guys. I think it's Longines. I don't think there's an S on Longines. Again, consult the pronunciation, the French experts. I think it's Longines. Longines.
Or 7th spot among all
I don't say the S on Longines. I don't say Longines. I say Longines.
Brands in terms of revenue. But they have been around for 200 years. And the Big Bang has been around for 20. Hublot sits at a number 11 spot in terms of revenue and steady climbing. Must be that.
Wrong. That's wrong. They're number 11, but their value of the watches that they produce and the unit shipments dropped, I think, over 35%. They're the two worst performing brands in the entire watch industry are Hublot and Tudor. That's a fact. That's a fact, bro. The two biggest, the two brands that have declined the most in terms of units as a percentage of volume have been Tudor and Hublot. Tudor and Hublot are both down, I think, 35 to 40%. So, yeah, I mean, they're falling and they're falling fast. They're not climbing.
Fancy marketing, or perhaps the
if you, there's no way they're climbing.
watch world just likes them. You know, there's also a time where people had a lot of negative things to say about Gerald Genta and the design of the Royal Oak. Yet 50 years later.
Here we go, guys. Like, look, remember when all of you guys didn't like the Royal Oak? You didn't like the Royal Oak. That's why you should remember how awesome Hublot is. We need to go back to loving Hublot.
He's considered an icon in the Royal Oak, a timeless, iconic design. Names like Jean-Claude Biver, Ricardo Guadalupe will be referred to in the future, probably long after we're gone.
Hublot did develop an in-house movement called the Unico. The problem is you don't get that movement until you're spending around $20,000. You could get an older AP Royal Oak, a Vacheron Constantin Overseas. You can get an older Patek. You can get a Rolex Daytona. And no one's going to make fun of you.
It's not the same as certain other brands, but for
Luckily not.
You could get a Grand Seiko, which is far superior watchmaking wise, finishing, and in my opinion, design.
I don't know. Bringing in these other YouTubers, I think, is just a big mistake. I mean, I don't know why Hublot would want one of their videos to bring in other YouTube personalities as part of their campaign.
Of course, you want to bring up what you get for the money. Let's talk about AP, VC, Patek, and Rolex. And let's break it down. AP Royal Oak, again, my favorite brand and my favorite model. Started with the 920 JLC, a workhorse, a wonderful movement. And by the way, also using the Vacheron 222, the Patek 37.
What is all this talk about the movements? Who gives a fuck about the movements? Is that what are people up in arms about the movements of Hublot? I mean, this guy, we're on what here? Minute 4 of a 10-minute video, and all he's talked about are movements. I don't think that's Hublot's problem. Guys, I need actually smart people on the panel. I don't even know anything about watches. I just got into watches like 8 months ago. I need people who actually know about watches to jump on the panel. The link is pinned at the top of the chat. Am I crazy? But this isn't about movements. It's not about it had it started off with an off-the-shelf movement, and now it has an in-house movement. That's not why Hublot's in trouble.
100 Nautilus. If you think this movement costs more than the ETA movement, you're sadly mistaken. Later, they use Frederic Piquet caliber 11.
Take a shot every time the word movement's used, guys. This is nuts.
85, which was, by the way, manufactured by Blancpain. And it wasn't until 2012 till we saw an in-house movement, the caliber 4302 used in a 15500 automatic. And here's the kicker. It was not until 2022 when AP finally made a fully in-house integrated flyback chronograph. Vacheron Overseas first gen, Gerard Perrin.
Oh my God. This is just a waste of time. It is a waste of time. You're trying to convince people that that what someone thought about their off-the-shelf movements 20 years ago matters to what the perception of the brand today. I wasn't even around then. I'm a COVID watch collector. I don't know anything about the history of why Franck Mueller, Hublot, and Panerai were the top 3 most desirable watch brands, and now all of a sudden they aren't. I can tell you, in my estimation, Franck Mueller, Panerai, and Hublot haven't fallen from grace because of the movements. They have, Hublot has great in-house movements. That's not their problem. I don't know why he's spending so much time trying to convince me that their movements are good. Oh, look, Vacheron started off with this movement, and the Royal Oak started. Who gives a fuck? Literally, who gives a fuck? But I don't know. I don't know anything about watches, so I don't even know why you guys are watching. This is
3100 base for the auto, and again, the same Frederick Piguet 1185 for the chrono. Second gen, Jaeger LeCoultre 889 for the auto, and dual time, while Frederick Piguet still for the chrono. Current gen, not until 2016 did they make in-house movements. Of course, you can make great arguments with Patek Philippe, with the legendary calibers like the 240, the 324, the 215, but still they heavily relied on JLC and...
Oh my God. Brody is he's helping me out a little bit here. Brody says it's about the design and the size. It's not about the movements. Okay, thank you, Brody. Thank you for helping me out here. It's about design and size, guys. Let me know if you agree with Brody in the chat. Is that what it's about? Is that why they're not loved anymore? Is that why they dropped 35% over the last 2 years in unit sales? I think it's because the market is tough. It's extremely competitive, and people are concentrating in the best brands. It's about premiumization and consolidation. And everyone is consolidating into Rolex and Patek because those are the 2 best brands. And in a market where not all the watches go for over retail and people are consolidating their collections and selling pieces, they're probably selling more pieces than they're buying. I think that's a fair statement. People are probably selling more pieces out of their collection. Their collections are getting smaller. They're selling more pieces than they're buying. So they have to be extremely disciplined about what they buy. They're only going to buy the best. And that means there are Hublots that I like. There are lots of watches I like. That's no longer good enough. Having a good watch is no longer good enough. Making a great watch is no longer good enough. Making a great watch at a great price is no longer good enough. This is the most competitive that I've seen the industry in my entire year and a half in the hobby. Look at this. Corporate Office. Welcome to the channel. Very simple. Changing taste in hip hop and mainstream culture that follows. That is an interesting point. The same could happen for Richard Mille. Changing tastes and different evolving moods and cultural themes or whatever. Very good point, Corporate Office. Hey, we got someone joining the panel. It is Dr. Kevin Moore. What's up?
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good.
I would like to say that I think that the criticism of Hublot, and it is pronounced Hublot if it's French, is that it's multifactorial. People have complained about the movements. And in fact, the Classic Fusion line still uses the, I don't know if it's the leader or ETA, But they've also complained about the size and the styling. They've also complained about the limited editions, and they've complained about the fact that it uses all kinds of brand ambassadors. So it's multifactorial. But if you go to any video that talks, why do we hate Hublot? The first thing people say, the first thing those things mention are the movements. And so his point is not completely illegitimate.
Is that an issue that people bring up because they use it as a crutch to attack the brand, and they were looking for other reasons to attack them as they go back to, hey, they're not using in-house movements on certain models or whatever? Or is it still a legitimate criticism?
I mean, I have 2 Hublots that have the ETA, and I love both of them. I'm going to sell one of them just because I don't want to have 3 Hublots. I'm going to buy one that has the Unico 2, which is a really nice movement. But I think
which one do you have? The one that you're going to keep? Do you have it handy?
I can get it. I'll go offline and get it for you. Yeah, I'll turn off the camera and get it while I talk.
Yeah, no worries.
Figure out how to do that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but let's see this thing. In the meantime, Vimal is in the chat with a flamingo blue highlighted comment. Hublot's issue is pricing. Everything else is secondary. Got Julius Caesar in the chat, listening to the stream while driving home. Good to have you in the chat, Julius. Who else do we got? If I got to James Hess, I want to make sure that I say hi to every single person in the chat. Watch Hangout, JJ and the crew there. Long Jeans. Long Jeans. Watches on Wood says Longines or Longines. Let's go to the poll where we were asking, how do you pronounce the brand? And it's overwhelming. The poll is over. 85% of you say it's Hublot. It's not Hublot. Okay, so I'm not crazy. It's Hublot. Thank you for voting in the poll. Pretty, a lot of people voted. 27 votes. 85% of you say it's Hublot. If you're watching the channel, we had 61 people watching, 59 on YouTube, 1 on Sony PlayStation 5, and 1 on Hinge. Shout out to the people. Shout out to the one guy on Hinge. If you're on Hinge, head on over to YouTube. Type in a comment on the YouTube platform. It's a lot easier. I'm not going to Hinge while I'm on the stream. Same is true on PlayStation 5 or whatever. I'm not there. To type in a comment, you got to go to YouTube. America5726 reminding everyone to upvote the live stream. Here we go. Do me a favor. If you can turn your camera 90 degrees to the left. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Love it. Okay, so tell us a little bit about this one. Is this steel or is this gold?
It's gold.
Gold. Wow.
All gold. All gold. It's the classic Aero Fusion. And it's 45. And I love its size. I just think the face of it is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And the way that it picks up on light is just amazing.
No disagreement there. That is, from across the room, a luxury watch. There'll be times where I remember going to that mall in Miami. What is it called? Bal Harbor, I think it's called. And they have a lot of different stores there. They have AP and Hublot and a bunch of others. And I remember seeing a guy walking, and you'll see a guy, more a middle-aged or an older guy typically, with a nice dress shirt and nice loafers. And lo and behold, he'll be wearing an Hublot. They look fucking fantastic. That's a luxury watch, no mistake. And the skeletonized movement is beautiful. I don't think anybody can complain that that's not a nice watch. If you think this is an ugly looking watch, I think 90% of other watches are uglier than this. This is a good looking watch.
Thank you. It is. I love it.
So
I wear it all the time.
Did you buy this one as a pre-owned piece from secondary, or did you buy it new from a retailer? How did you get this piece?
I bought a pre-owned. This watch I wouldn't buy new. It's just way too rich. I mean, if I were richer, I probably would, but I'm not rich enough to say I'm going to eat that huge differential.
How much of their issue or their problem right now would you say is the fact that knowledgeable collectors, smart collectors, people who are not just casual one and done kind of customers, really do know that, hey, these are really expensive when you buy them from a boutique or when you buy them from a multi-brand store that's selling them at list price. And they can be achieved on as pre-owned pieces in the secondary market for a fraction, sometimes 50% less than they are new. I mean, how much of their problem do you think emanates from that one issue of price point and value?
Yeah, I think for the watch collector, they know that they can get it at a much better price. But I don't know what percentage of their base is watch collectors versus people that, you know, go in and say, I want that watch, and they don't care how much it costs because they have that much money. You clearly don't buy this watch because here's the thing, you know, when people talk about value with Hublot, or with any watch for that matter, people who buy Hublot don't look for value. It's just not part of the equation. When I buy watches, I don't look for value, because if I look for value, I can always find a much less expensive watch that it looks and works like my watch for less. But I don't want that. I want the watch that I want. I couldn't afford to buy this thing at retail. It would have been too much for me. But pre-owned, I wanted the watch and I could afford it, so I bought it. And people don't. It's not a value proposition. No one ever people who buy Hublot don't look for a value proposition. They just don't. And I think that's a misconception that people have. And whenever you talk about that proposition, all kinds of reasons to talk, you know, about any watch, but the value proposition just doesn't come into play when you look at Hublot buyers. It just doesn't.
So this is a 45 millimeter watch. How does it look on the wrist, if you don't mind my asking? Can we see it on the wrist?
Most people would say it looks too big. This is my Parmigiani Fleurier, by the way.
Nice. Parmigiani Fleurier. It's a chronograph.
Yeah. Is that chronograph? It's the Tanda GT. It's a chronograph. It's an annual calendar. It's a big date. It's all that. But so I like watches big. I don't really care what the conventional sizing is. I like big watches. Because I'm older and I can't see smaller watches, and I like the watch to take up the majority of the space of the width of my wrist. So that's what it looks like.
I think that's right on the border, but I think that is acceptable. And I can recommend this watch for wrists. What size is your wrist in inches? Do you know?
16 and a half.
16
and a half centimeters. So 6
centimeters.
6 and quarters to half. Yeah.
Yep. I can definitely recommend this watch for wrists 16 centimeters in circumference.
You sound like Tim Mosso now. Also now.
That's a beautiful. So do you know have you followed that specific reference and what the current price is from Hublot?
Yeah, it's less than I paid for it. Oh yeah. For retail, it's like 39,000.
Okay, so now that watch is 39,000. What was it?
Yeah.
When did you buy this? How long ago?
Couple years ago.
Okay, couple years. So the watch was probably a lot cheaper than that then, and then you bought it in secondary, which gave you a really, really good price. But I mean, 39,000 for a rubber strap watch. That's Audemars Piguet territory.
Yeah,
right? Almost, kind of, maybe in a way. I don't know.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I mean, you know, AP makes great watches, and there are some Royal Oaks that I want. You can't buy any of the Royal Oaks that I would want for $38,000.
Got it.
I don't own a Royal Oak because I can't afford a Royal Oak that I want.
Watches on Wood, says Dr. Kevin Moore, is spot on with what he's saying about value proposition. Thank you very much. MJ in the chat, nice Parmigiani. It is.
Thank
Ryan
you.
Singer reminding everybody to upvote. Yeah, we got a lot of great people in the chat here. A lot of great people. Thank you for jumping on, by the way, Dr. Kev.
Thank you, sir.
Have you any specific thoughts about anything that's been said in this video thus far?
Well, I'll just go back to what I said a couple of days ago when I was on. You know, people spend lots of money for their watches, and watch fans they love their watches. And no one likes to hear the thing that they love trashed. You don't want to hear your sports team trashed. You don't want to hear your children trashed. You don't want to hear your watches trashed. If someone says that watch is too big for me, I don't like the style, I'm totally cool with that. But when you have someone doing the, lower than trash is Hublot, can you wonder why people don't like this dude? I mean, there's no reason for that. All it does is engender, watch people being mean to one another. I don't see the point of that. I just don't understand why that's cool, because it doesn't seem cool to me at all. I would never trash another person's watch. I would never do it, because I know how much I care about my watches.
I would do it to your face and behind your back, but that's just, it's I do it for entertainment. But I think, but Nico, I mean, and I have been critical of Nico that his criticism of Hublot actually has harmed Hublot. It really has, because he's so prominent on YouTube, so prominent in social media.
Yeah.
That his whether it's done half in jest, half as a shtick or whatever, actually, I do believe that it's actually had a consequence on the perception of Hublot, and that's been unfortunate, because they are good watches, and I don't think it's. I do not think it's right. I'll tell Nico to his face to have them as a category lower than shite. It's just not. It's just not true. I mean, I understand if it's shtick, but it's like it's harmful shtick too. It is, because he has such a megaphone in the industry. So, but that's not a reason for these two guys to be beefing with each other. We need peace in the Middle East. There's no reason why these two guys need to be going back and forth on social media, attacking each other.
I'm all for that. I agree with you. 100%. I agree with you.
Yeah, the latest thing is apparently Roman was paid to do this and hasn't disclosed it. So if that's true, I think Roman should just come out and say, like, guys, at the outset, I want to let you know that that Hublot paid for me to do a video about them, and just at the outset, like, paid promotion. I mean, the rule of YouTube is, by the way, like, it's actually in the terms and conditions. If you do a video like this and you've been paid to do so, you have to disclose it. You can actually be hit. Your channel can be struck and taken down, right? For promoting watches and not promoting brands or whatever, and not disclosing that you're being paid behind the scenes. And that is the allegation here, is that Roman was paid to do this, and he didn't disclose it. But I think we all know it, that he was paid. I don't think that's like an issue, but I think let's go through the quality of the video and see if it actually makes sense. Vimal actually correcting me, and he's right. The AP Royal Oak in gold isn't $40,000. He's right there. I was referring to like more of like the steel offshores, but this piece Dr. Kevin Moore has here is a gold piece, and it's hard to think of another brand that has a watch similar to that with a skeletonized dial/movement, full gold case, that is a top 20 brand that you can find on secondary for, I'm assuming that's going to be around $20,000 in secondary, which is an incredible value. For those of you who are knowledgeable about secondary prices, maybe you can correct me if I didn't hit the nail on the head, but it's probably a damn good buy in terms of like being a great watch that will always be a part of your collection, and it'll never go down and it'll never go up, but who cares? Johnny O, representing Chicagoland in the chat. What's up? Diego M, reminding us that he is Team Jizzo. Thank you very much. Jizzo, by the way, Jizzo and I have communicated, and we will leave it at that. But there's a very good chance that Jizzo Club will maybe there'll be peace. There'll be peace between OC and Jizzo Club very, very soon. We will see. That'll be entertaining. But we did chat. We have chatted. So I think it's going to be fun to have him on the stream. That's what I think. I think it's going to be fun to have Jizzo Club on the stream. Dude, I would rock the shit out of that Hublot if I didn't have girls' wrists, says Ryan O'Fray. In 2008, I couldn't leave the house without the screws perfectly aligned. Yeah, some people are very OCD about that. I get it. All right, let's continue on with this video here and see if he gets to any other points other than about the movements.
For quite some time, and their first in-house chronograph movement didn't come out till 2009. That was the 5170J with the 29535 caliber. Rolex One statement, Zenith El Primero. If you're starting to see a trend here, it's because for a long time, companies relied on movement manufacturers for their movements until we saw a trend for in-house movement. Personal opinion, I think it was the Longa Datograph that launched in '89 that was the first fully in-house chronograph movement developed from scratch by any major brand in decades, while near all other Swiss high-end chronographs were still based on Lemania 2310. Tydek is 186 years old. Vacheron is 270 years old. AP 150. Rolex 120. Hublot post-MDM 20 years old. So please don't call the Unico a pretty good movement. The Unico is a monster. Do you know why it's such a big feat? It's because
Okay, we are now 6 minutes into a 10-minute video, and he's literally only talked about movements. He's absolutely obsessed about the impact on Hublot's reputation of the whole movement issue. Andy Lewis, what's up? Good to see you in the chat.
Developing a chronograph is one of the hardest things to do in horology, and you can ask any manufacturer about that. It's a groundbreaking performance chronograph caliber with 2 independent clutches, one for the minutes driven directly off the barrel, and both using innovative Liga T to reduce play and friction. And
He's reading off a press release or something. This is like, he's talking way too fast, and he's just spewing too many specs. The thing with, I mean, so far in the chat, what you guys have said is, okay, the movements are a part of it, but it's also about design, it's about size, and it's just about culture. It's about fads and the fact that, you know, hip hop culture kind of changed and they're in vogue and then they're out of vogue, and cultural shifts. You know, it's the same, you know, same happened with Franck Mueller and Panerai. You know, maybe 20 years from now, Richard Mille and FP Journe will not be in fashion. Maybe we'll look back and go, "What? Why the fuck were people spending $500,000 on a fucking plastic fucking toy watch that looked like it came out of a gumball machine or a Cracker Jack box?" And whoever thought these FP Journes were good looking? I mean, they went for what? How many million at auction? These things are ugly. So you never know what 20, you know, in time, 20 years. Different generations will have a different opinion. Things will change. Who knows?
While you may think Liga is just a specific type of gear or tooth shape or fancy name, it's not. It is a microfabrication technique originally developed for the semiconductor industry. So let's just say precision at its finest. And as far as being made fun of, the only people that make fun of Hublot are those that are following what? While stupid in my opinion, but yet another trend set on social media. And by the way,
okay, so now this is another criticism. So let's see. So the criticism, a lot of the criticism of Hublot is on social media. That is fair.
At its finest. And as far as being made fun of, the only people that make fun of Hublot are those that are following what? While stupid in my opinion, but yet another trend set on social media. And by the way, I was in the business when the Big Bang took the world by storm. Fun fact, you could not give away a Royal Oak all in overseas at that time. Everybody wanted a Hublot.
That is absolutely true. We were on a team call earlier, and that exact point was made. That Hublot was hot as shit while the Royal Oak was considered a dog at the time, at the peak of Hublot's success.
So you have a beautiful car. I wouldn't say that that's a beautiful car, but I'm just using this as an analogy.
Case, $100.
You're paying a lot of money for the case and not a lot for the watchmaking.
Funny you say pretty cases. These are not just cool cases of paint jobs. This takes years of engineering and innovation. And surprise, that
I actually like their cases. I think their cases are pretty fucking cool. Diego M, welcome to the panel.
What's cracking?
Not too much. We're going to broker peace in the watch world. We're going to broker peace because it's about time that these ridiculous beefs get put to rest. But we're going through this video that Roman came out with. I'm watching it for the first time. He spent 6 minutes talking about movements, Diego.
Yeah, you know what, man? Like, my philosophy with a watch, if you don't immediately see a watch and fall in love and say, I want that watch, it's not a good watch for you, right?
It starts with the visual impact of the
Yes.
design, right? Yeah.
Now, if your selling points, like, guys, don't you understand that there's gears and like clutch escapement and they who do you think invented the frictionless movement? It was Hublot. Like, if that's your selling point, like, oh, you know what? Damn, they did it first. Okay, well, I guess I'll buy this instead of an AP. That is not; those aren't selling points.
Yeah.
You don't.
think what
When
it-
you buy
you
a
know-
car, you've been looking at cars, right?
Spent
Are
a
you
lot of
using
time.
Are you using AI to filter specific engines? Like, okay, I need a car with 397 horsepower, these specific bearings, and the brakes have to be this manufacturer. Like, no, that's not where it starts. All the stuff under the hood it's important, but it is not the number. It's not the main selling point.
Yeah, so it starts off with, the design, and the look, all that stuff. But so but I think he spent a lot of time. Getting a little bit of feedback, Diego. I think he spent so much time talking about the movement issue because I'm going to mute you. Diego, sorry. I just feedback. A lot of the criticism was that early on, that they were using what were considered off-the-shelf movements, and they didn't design their own movements, so therefore the quality for what they were charging, the quality wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
So now he's on to the next point, which is apparently some people have been saying that the quality of the materials isn't good or something like that, or the whole value of the watch is in the materials. At this point, I'm not sure. I think there's no doubt. I don't think there's any dispute that their materials, in terms of their alloys, their use of ceramic, their early use of rubber as a luxury material in watches, all of those things they get a lot of credit for.
Right.
I haven't heard any criticism of that. Let's
No,
just
I
listen.
haven't either.
Let's listen in a little bit.
As an analogy,
Case, $100.
You're paying a lot of money for the case and not a lot for the watchmaking.
Funny you say.
First of all, I don't know who that fucking YouTuber is, so I don't give any YouTuber credibility for saying anything. So just the fact that somebody on social media said something stupid like that, that person's a nobody. I mean, I don't even know what the fuck they were really saying.
Pretty cases. These are not just cool cases of paint jobs. This takes years of engineering and innovation. And surprise, that costs time and money. Well, I did mention ceramics, carbon, cane, magic golds, in-house production of sapphire. It's also worth mentioning they just developed a multicolor ceramic case that no other brand can even produce. Most of
There's no doubt about it. They produce innovative materials.
No other brand could do it. Okay. Was it a good idea? No. So what? Just because you're first or just because you're an innovator, it doesn't mean shit. If you don't have a product that people don't like, doesn't matter. Like if your selling points are we were first or we innovated or we did what the others couldn't, maybe there's a reason the others didn't do it. Can you go back to that dual ceramic case? That was horrible. What the hell? That thing looks like it has Ebola.
This particular case, it is actually the first implementation of a multicolored ceramic case. It's extremely difficult to do. They spent probably years coming out with it. This particular one doesn't look very good, obviously.
Well, you know what? I was gonna buy, I want a Journe, but just because these guys innovated, I'm gonna change my mind. Not because I like the watch. I have to go buy an Hublot and reward these people for all their innovation. It's on us, OC. If we don't, have you ever heard of any other brand like we were the first to do this? We were the first to have an integrated steel bracelet.
Okay,
No.
I think Roman's point is, listen, they spend a lot of money on R&D. They develop cutting edge materials, innovative alloys, and all that stuff. That's fine. I mean, you may not like the result. Let's say I like the result. I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue is that their prices are very, very expensive, and number two, the brand isn't held in high regard anymore. So if I have a choice of where I'm going to spend my $35,000, whether or not to spend it on a precious metal Rolex or on a Patek or on an AP or whatever, or even if it's a steel AP, like a steel AP to me punches way above its weight and can easily, from a impact perspective, the power of the impact on my wrist and to someone else who's looking at it, connote something better than a $35,000 Hublot does. Even if it's precious metal or ceramic or concrete or whatever the fuck it is.
If the justification of the price of Hublots is because of how much money goes into R&D or the innovation, guess what? It didn't work out. All that innovation, all that R&D you did, people aren't gravitating towards it. Sorry. Like, it's a failure. If someone innovates, if someone spends billions of dollars for a new drug to defeat cancer and it doesn't work, guess what? We're not going to go buy your pills anyways just because you spent the time trying.
Right.
And your Royal Oak, what's innovative about your Royal Oak? I would say the dial, the way the dial is made, right? That's somewhat innovative. That's the only thing. What else does it have going for it? It has timeless design. Okay.
I would like to interject on this.
It could have a closed case back and it would still have the same impact.
Yeah, jump in, Kevin.
So I don't agree with the gentleman, and I think that things are far more nuanced than that. I think that when, there's collectors and there's the public, right? And when collectors talk about watches, they talk about things that are ephemeral. They talk about heritage, tradition. They absolutely talk about innovation. I was literally watching the video today, this watch, that watch, and he was talking about the new chronograph movement that the Audemars Piguet RD developed for the new chronograph, which
the
the RD5, and he said, yeah, it'll probably never be used in a production watch, in a watch that goes into general production. But it's cool that they're innovating, because innovation, leads to changes that you can't even predict. And I think that in the world of horology, that there is a certain amount of cachet that comes from things like innovation, things like tradition. Even today, 45 years later, Hublot gets props for being the first to combine gold and rubber. And I don't think it's as simple as that. And
but
I
do they do gold and rubber better than any other brand? I don't think so.
That depends
what
who you talk
so,
to.
like, they might have been first, but you don't, like, you might have been the first to market, but if someone else comes out with a better product, it means nothing. And innovation and horology and history.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true that it means nothing. It absolutely means something in the world of horology.
You would buy a watch simply because the brand did it first. Let's take Hublot out of it. Okay. Let's take Hublot out of it. Let's say that one brand comes out with a, let's say the first titanium watch. Who made the first titanium watch?
No idea.
Buy that? Are you going to buy that over a Rolex Yachtmaster Titanium simply because they were first? No.
Yeah, but you know what though?
Rolex does it better.
But when I bought my Vacheron overseas, part of the reason I chose it was because of the history and tradition of Vacheron. I mean, people buy watches for all kinds of reasons. People buy watches for reasons that I can't comprehend because I'm not buying them for those reasons. I think it's short-sighted to dismiss why someone buys their watch and to say because you can't comprehend why they buy their watch that it doesn't matter, because it matters to people.
All those things you're mentioning, they are important, but they're maybe 20%. Like I was saying earlier.
No, for you maybe. For you.
Do a polo. See, what's more important? Actually liking the way the watch looks, or the history of the brand, or the fact that
it doesn't matter.
They were first to innovate.
The individual matters. The individual matters. Let me tell you something. You could take a Longines. You could make a Longines, or better yet, you could take for me. You could take a Longines, make it just absolutely as the exact same as an IWC. Take the Longines. There's one that's very similar to the 20. Is that Blancpain or this is Blancpain, I think. But the fact of the matter is that I'm not going to buy it because it costs $5,000. I'll buy the one that costs $15,000 or $20,000. Why? Because when I put on my watches, it symbolizes things to me. It symbolizes the fact that I was born very poor, grew up very poor in the ghetto of South Central. And when I buy a watch and I put on an expensive watch, it shows how far I've come in this world. I don't care that the same watch is exactly the same. And I don't care that more people are buying it either. That's just for me. Everyone has their reasons why they buy a watch. Maybe because they grew up in a time when Hublot was more valued than the Royal Oak. It's not as though that can't happen again, because we know that the fortunes of watch companies ebb and flow over the course of time. AP was dead, and then the Royal Oak and a bunch of other things saved them. And there was a time when Vacheron was considered the lowest of the Holy Trinity, but now over the past few years, they're killing Audemars, they're killing Patek.
Vacheron's
Things
killing
changed.
them? No, they're
Have you
not.
been watching what they've been doing over the past few
Yeah,
years?
they created
The
the
métiers?
postcard traditionnel. Pull it up, OC.
What are you talking about? The Métier d'Art? The
Those
ones
are
they released a few
beautiful.
days ago?
Those are
They
beautiful,
are,
but that
yeah.
doesn't mean that you're going to go buy a Vacheron just because they also offer a beautiful watch.
If I could afford one, I would absolutely buy a Vacheron. Absolutely. If I could afford one of those things, 100%.
Oh, I would too, but I'm not going to buy any other Vacheron simply because they also have the métier d'art. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, until Vacheron
But that's not
makes
the
a
only
watch,
position. You think that only your reasons for buying a watch are valid, and that's not the case. People have different reasons.
All right. Hold on.
That's your proposition, but I have a different proposition than you.
So what you're saying is that if a brand does something incredible, you celebrate that and award them by buying something that has nothing to do with that. Like the Vacheron. I know you like Vacheron, but let's say there wasn't anything in the catalog you were crazy about Vacheron, but they did something really cool like the métier d'art. Are you going to buy a Vacheron because, like, you know what? I love what they're doing and this was innovative and good for them and I'm going to support them as a company?
No, but that's not what I'm arguing either. That's
okay. That's what I was saying. I'm saying to buy an Hublot simply because they were first to have a rubber watch, first to integrate rubber and precious metals. They innovated in movements and they were the first to do, two color ceramics. To me, what I was saying is that is not enough. And it gets
for you,
nowhere
it's not.
Is it for you? Is it for you?
It's a whole bunch of different things. It's
is
a whole bunch.
Is it for you?
If it's since I own two Hublots and I'm going to buy another one, I would say that it certainly is a big enough part of it for me to spend lots and lots of money on them. So for me, I'd say
Forget Hublot, any brand. Is that a major criteria for you that they were the first to do something?
It was enough for me to want the overseas over the Royal Oak or the Nautilus or the Odyssey, Odysseus. Yeah.
Because Vacheron did what first?
270 years.
So that was it. Okay. See, yeah. I think you're a very small minority.
Granted, but it doesn't mean you can dismiss my opinion because I'm a small minority. No, everyone has their reasons for doing the things they do.
I didn't say that people like you don't exist.
Is valid.
I didn't say people like you don't exist or shouldn't exist. I'm a person that when I speak, I'm talking for the masses. I'm talking for not the few people, right? Not the people that will say that the Seamaster is better than the Submariner because it's got a Metis movement and blah blah and it's innovative. And I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the masses of people. I'm sorry, but like Hublot, you innovated great, but other people did it better. And if people aren't buying your watches and your selling point is to get someone like Roman Scharf to go on YouTube and create a video talking about all the innovation, like it's not enough.
But Diego, if this discussion means anything, maybe it's that Hublot paying Roman to do this video actually works in getting people to discuss Hublot again. Maybe just based on the fact that this video came out a couple of hours ago, and we're actually having a debate not about Roman getting paid to do this or the beef between Nico and Roman or whatever. The fact that we're now actually discussing the quality of Hublot versus not, as watches and as a collector, maybe they did the right thing. Maybe this is exactly what they wanted.
Perhaps. And I'll say this. There's nothing wrong that I've seen with the quality of Hublot at all, right? I don't think anybody can say that their materials are bad or the quality is bad or that they're not innovative and all that stuff. But I think a lot of people will say right now in the present, their designs are not, it's just not there. It might have worked 20 years ago, 15 years ago, but right now it's not in vogue. For the masses. I know it is for you, Doctor,
Oh,
but for the masses.
that's true. I would not argue with you about that.
You know what
But
I mean?
that doesn't
And
mean that
so-
it's going to be
and
that
so
way 20
if-
years from now or 10 years from now.
Perhaps, but we're living in the now. And so if Hublot's campaign to change people's opinions of the brand, because clearly they're having issues, you know, they're going below retail, they're selling them to Joma Shop. If their strategy to overcome these hurdles is to focus on the fact that they were the first in this and they were the first in that and they're innovating in this and that, it's like that's not going to cut it. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you have a car manufacturer that makes a really ugly car, and I'm not saying Hublots are very ugly, but if there's a car manufacturer that people aren't buying because it looks so strange and it's like this is out of this world and not for me and I want just a simple car, you can't have a campaign that's like, but our car's tires last for 20 years and we were the first to have power windows, and you know who invented the sunroof? We did. So buy our car.
Clearly. Yeah.
You know what I
Clearly
mean?
you're right about that. Clearly their argument, but I don't think that's their advertising strategy. I think that this video
No, I'm
that
talking
is- wait,
specifically on
sorry.
Roman. Yes,
But-
specifically what Roman's been talking about.
But Roman specifically he's not making commercials for Hublot with those arguments. Hublot is not making commercials with those arguments. He
was
is
paid
addressing specifically,
$25,000 to do this video.
he is addressing specifically the criticisms of Hublot and trying to argue against those criticisms. Now that's separate than I haven't seen their advertising campaigns focus
No,
on things.
They don't. Yeah, you're right. They don't specifically focus on that stuff. No,
Right.
absolutely not. But the guy that they paid to help promote them, right, to defend them, that's what he's doing.
He was defending
bringing
against
up all these
specific
points.
arguments, though.
He's
Against
bringing up all
specific
these
arguments,
points that's like, okay, so what? They were first.
specific
I would have
criticisms.
loved to have been there.
They
with
should hire
Roman.
me.
So what?
They should hire
Roman?
me.
You know, I didn't see the whole video. Did he mention that they were the first to have the rubber strap on a watch?
Not yet. Not yet. No.
Okay,
I'm
but
sure
let's
he will.
assume he
He
did.
should.
Let's assume he did. My response would be, so what? Meet the Oyster Flex, meet the Aquanaut. What now? You know what I mean? Like, sorry.
I see your point, but I don't think that he represents their advertising. I think the advertising campaigns are very different. They weren't fortunate enough to have the greatest advertising spiel ever in watches, which is when Patek said, "You don't own a Patek."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a stupid campaign too. I hate that one.
No, I love that. I think that thing has made them so much money. I almost bought a Patek because of that.
I own my Patek, baby. all me.
Because of that.
No,
He's not. No, but Diego's
nothing to
not
do with
passing
that.
it down to another generation ever.
Ever.
Yeah.
That's mine. When I die, the wife is.
Oh,
selling
I
it.
get you. I get you. You owned it. She's gonna sell it, right?
She's gonna sell that and take a vacation.
I got to say that the quality of the commentary in the chat is absolute top notch. The comments in the chat are unbelievable. I wish I could pull some of this stuff up, but they're just flying in too fast, too furious.
Can you read some of them? I'd love to hear them because we can't be on. I
All
can't
right,
watch one anyway.
Let's read some of the comments here. No disrespect to Roman, says Gatsby, but if he is the expert in a world of experts that a brand chooses to speak for them, that tells me all I need to know. So he's getting back to the point, like, okay, so the strategy. I think here's the thing. Hublot is facing a particular problem in the United States with demand, and I think Hublot said, listen, social media in the United States is not very favorable to us. We need to do something to kind of shake things up and turn it around. We've got people like Nico who are bashing Hublot. It's resonating. It's having an impact. Our sales are fucking way down. We need to do something drastic. So they went to Roman and said, listen, fucking Roman, you've got a big YouTube channel. Help us. Come to the factory, do a positive video, and fuck, we need to do anything. That's, I think, the strategy. So, and it may work. You never know. Roman is a businessman, says Ryan Hofre, and a watch king. He obviously is going to defend a top brand that he sells. I salute him for it. By the way, he was also paid to do it. Alas, he didn't need to throw Nico under the bus to defend Hublot, and I think that's another point. Is like, does it cheapen the argument when you're bringing in all these YouTubers like Bark and Jack and other guys, and you're including them in your video and trashing them? I mean, Nico maybe deserves to be countered because he is at the forefront of the anti-Hublot on social media movement in the watch space. Feel free to jump in with any commentary that you guys have. I'm just going to keep going through the comments here. Watches on wood. I fall in love with a watch like love at first sight, as Diego says. And if there's a history behind it, and I like the story of the El Primero movement and the Zenith Attic, for example, then that adds to my love for the watch. Very cool.
1000%. When I've got the Cartier Tour 2. The first time I saw a picture of it, that was it. I had to have one. I didn't know how much it cost. I didn't know if it was white gold or platinum. I didn't know that it was CPCP. I didn't know that FP Journe was responsible for making the movement. I didn't know that there was only 200 ever made. I had no clue, right?
It starts off with that attraction. Yeah.
Correct. And even if it wasn't one of 200, even if Journe wasn't responsible for the movement, even if it wasn't part of the CPCP collection, that
even
wouldn't
if
have
it weren't
mattered.
the
I still
fact
would have
that these
bought
were
the watch.
that, even if it's not even aside of the fact that it's now skyrocketing in the secondary market and that Cartier Tour 2s are extremely hot and in demand worldwide.
Yeah, I mean, they're going for like 300,000 now. But the point that I'm making is like, if I bought the watch and all that came of it was that it's a Cartier, that's it. That's good enough for me. Now, after the fact, learning all that stuff, yeah, it's cool. It adds to it, but it had zero, and I seriously mean this. It had zero impact of me deciding that I wanted that watch and pursuing it. I didn't learn that they only made 200 until after I paid for it, and I actually started Googling and learning about it. I mean, to me, that should be, that should be the number one focus. That should be 80-90% of why you buy a watch. Another example would be a Speedmaster. So Speedmasters, the historical context of those, they went to the moon, manual wind, closed case back, right? Great. A lot of people will ask the question, should I buy an automatic Speedmaster? Everybody says, no, don't do that. The real Moonwatch was manual wind. Okay, I'll buy I agree. I'll go manual wind for a Speedy. You have to. So but it's also not. It's not 80%. That's maybe 20% of it.
Yep. But all right, let's keep going with this Roman video here. Now he's talking about innovative alloys and materials. Let's see if it goes. I think there's let's see, we're at 7 minutes in. There's only 3 minutes left. Let's see if we can get through at least a good chunk of this. Let's see if he mentions rubber as well.
Worth mentioning, they just developed a multicolor ceramic case that no other brand can even produce. Most of the higher priced items, they all come with complete in-house horology. Let's do Richard Mille, arguably one of the most hyper popular brands in the world. RM6501, the split-second chronograph, right? That split-second...
This comparison to other brands, I don't think is a very strong argument. Bringing up all these other brands, I think, it doesn't really make the case.
I saw earlier he said Rolex, Zenith Rolex. Need I say more? It's like, oh, you mean like the fucking hottest chronograph ever made?
No, but he's saying like, look, they started off not using their own movement. They outsourced.
But it's like, yeah, they used someone else's movement, but the watch was fucking incredible. No one cares what's under the hood. When you see a Porsche drive down the road,
well,
are you thinking, well, is that the Turbo S or is that just a Carrera? Because if it's just a Carrera,
you're just opening up a can of worms in the chat.
You get what I mean, though. When you see a Porsche drive down the road, you go, damn, look at that Porsche. Same thing when you see a Daytona.
The first thing you say is that's a beautiful. First thing you say is that a beautiful car, and then all those other layers come into it. Like, okay, what engine? How does it handle? How much does it cost? What's the history? All that. It's like, so for example, with the Tour 2. Is like, okay, you look at it, it's attractive. Then you find out, okay, what material is it? When was it made? What's the history? How much does it cost? All that stuff. And if one of those, and in your mind, you go through all these mental check boxes, right? Like, and then when something has enough check boxes, you go, fuck, that's a you know what now the question is like, how many checkboxes does Hublot tick when you're going through that list of like, is it a great brand? Does it look good? Is it designed well? Does it fit well on the rest? Is it going to be
You're right.
timeless? Is it going to hold value? Is it like, listen, we as collectors, we have a list of 50 fucking things in our head that, and if it doesn't check off all those boxes, newsflash, we don't fucking buy it. No one has a gun to your head saying, listen, you have to buy a watch that only ticks 5 of the 15 boxes. We have choices. We have lots of choices.
If I see a shitty ass car drive down the road, like really ugly car, I'm like, ew, what the fuck? And then some guy's like, no, that thing's got 800 horsepower. I'm gonna go, who gives a shit? you know?
Yeah.
And I can't remember who said it. Somebody in the chat might remember, but there's a saying about if you need a paragraph to sell a watch, you've already failed.
Like there's
all you should need is the brand and the name of the watch, and if that's not enough to sell the watch,
that's the start of it. That's the start of it. Like for example, someone will look at, I'll look at a Demon or whatever the fuck that thing is called, a Hellcat or whatever, and they'll go, well, yeah, but OC that has 707 horse. Like, yeah, it's not going to change the fact that it's a fucking Dodge or a Chrysler or whatever the fuck it is. It's not going to change that fact. It's a fucking Challenger. I'm not going to get past that. That's not a car for me. I don't give a fuck if it has 700 horsepower. So like, So
what you're saying is that, and what this conversation just shows, everyone has their reasons for doing the things they do. I have reasons for buying Hublot that probably no one on this feed can relate to. But part of the reasons I love Hublot is because I'm from South Central Los Angeles. Because those rappers that people say, rappers.
Shout out to the Raiders.
Shout
out to the Raiders.
Raiders, Lakers. Those are my guys. So that's part of the reason. Kobe, who had a Hublot watch, he's my guy. So there's all kinds of reasons people do the things they do.
Yeah.
Wait, let me just jump in with a good point. Yes, that's true. We're all individuals. People have their own reasons for buying watches, but when you're in a market where it's a mass market, you're the number 11 brand, you're making 40,000 watches a year or whatever it is, you have to appeal to more than just it depends what size your niche is in this very competitive market. If your argument was appealing to 60,000 people, but now the next year it's only appealing to 35,000 people, then something is changing either with the watches or the market or the criteria that people are using.
And the watches are getting better. So the watches are getting better. So the market is changing. The general sentiment is changing, or the economy is changing. Maybe there's so many variables. I don't know the answer.
Are there Hublot cruise ships, like how there's the
Invicta
cruises? Are there Hublot cruises?
I would never do a cruise.
I don't know. Like what does Hublot do that creates a family of collectors that promote and encourage people to be enthusiastic about Hublot? I don't know.
I think in Europe it's a bit different.
Yeah, Double Crown.
If it's from Europe, I might find what they do there, because I think it's a different market there.
Thank you, Double Crown member for 12 months, and he's not just a member at the volunteer level; he's a member at the campaign senior consultant level. He's at one of the top 20 members of the original OC channel.
Big pimp.
Yay for watches! Thank you,
pimpin'.
Double Crown. Yep, and then we got Brody in the chat. $5 super chat from California. Just tuned in. Did Diego use the term Jetstream yet? I don't think he has. If so, boot him.
Come on,
No,
brother.
right.
You want a fucking $5? Oh, that's nothing, brother.
Suck on my mama's.
You need at least
weenie.
$100 if you want to come at me, brother. I'm in your head.
Rose is in the chat. We've got so many smart people in the chat. Doc Mick in Florida is here. Eddie Mao's in the chat. We got Joker. We love the Joker. Rose says the watches are getting better is never something you want to hear about your watch brand. Meaning like that, just, oh, well, the watches are getting better is not like a sentiment that is the sentiment of a winning watch brand, according to Rose. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Shamba Basher reminding us that Cartier are for women, period. Thank you, Shamba Basher. All right, let's keep going. Roman's losing me here, but let's give him the benefit of the doubt and see where he goes with this.
Popular brands in the world. RM6501, the split second chronograph, right? That split second chronograph movement from Vacher costs 4,800 CHF. Should we now crucify RM? No, because that won't get you as many clicks as saying Hublot is crap. It's not, what's the word? Trendy.
That is what we call innovative. If you actually do that, Hublot, that will be the first innovation you've ever done in your entire existence.
The hatred towards Hublot within the watch community is justified.
Omega put a watch on the moon. Rolex made the first mainstream dive watch. Cartier made the first wristwatch.
I don't even know who this guy is. Why the fuck is Roman even including him in the video? Who the fuck is this guy?
I don't know, man. But he just brought something. He just brought something up. Cartier made the first watch. Who gives a fucking shit?
Yeah,
okay?
nobody. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. The first guy to make a pizza, does he make the best pizza? No. Where's the fucking Wright Brothers Airlines, OC? They were the first to fucking fly. Don't you want to fly Wright Air? No.
The first isn't necessarily the best. Yeah. But I mean,
And
there's
Omega,
history,
you went
there's
to
a
the
history,
moon.
there's story, there's a legacy. All that stuff is important to watch people because these are, it's a very old hobby that goes back, 200 years, 250 years in some cases. So people care about the history and legacy of these brands, making mechanical timepieces. I get it.
I think there's a difference between supporting a brand for what they've done, right? The historical, like, oh, I'm going to buy a Breguet because they made the tourbillon, versus I'm going to buy a Journe. I'm going to buy a Journe because I like what they're doing beyond the watches, right? They're good people. They're fun events. They take care of their clients. Or if you have a personal, some people actually know these people personally. Like the watch that Chalk Flew Up bought. What was the brand? It was God, I can't remember.
Sartori Ballard, right?
Yeah. Okay. What's the history of that guy?
No. Sylvain Pinot. Sorry.
Yeah, Sylvain Pinot. Pretty limited history. Innovations, who knows? But he likes the guy. He's supporting the guy. That's different to me than blindly supporting a company because of what they did in the past, or because they were the first to market on something.
This is the first time in 6 months that the brand's Sylvain Pinot has been mentioned on the OC channel, by the way.
Yeah.
May not ever be mentioned again unless Chalk Flew Up jumps on. Look at this. This is a very funny picture of Bark from Bark and Jack. But let's listen to what he said about. Let's listen to what this unknown fucking YouTuber said about Cartier.
The hatred towards Hublot within the watch community is justified.
Omega put a watch on the moon. Rolex made the first mainstream dive watch. Cartier made the first wristwatch. What did Hublot do?
You just made my point for me. Yes, Omega did put the first watch on the moon. Rolex, by the way, didn't make the first.
I don't agree with any of those arguments. A lot of those arguments don't really.
I want to see how he spins this.
Yeah, let's see.
But Hublot made the first frictionless.
Just made my point for me. Yes, Omega did put the first watch on the moon. Rolex, by the way, didn't make the first diver's watch. It was Blancpain with the 50 fathoms. And yes, Cartier did make the first men's wristwatch. The first wristwatch was actually a ladies' brigade known as the Queen of Naples. But this was all done way before Hublot times. Meanwhile, in a short 20 years, Hublot did manage to do a few other things, being the first luxury watch brand to be FIFA's official timekeeper. First full-scale collaboration with Ferrari.
I'm going to sell all my watches and buy Hublots because they fucking sponsored soccer. What are we doing, OC? Sell the Rolex. Sell it all.
They got popular doing that.
Sell it all. I know, but like, don't you want to have a watch on your wrist that's the first to ever be at some FIFA tournament? That makes the watch good, right? That makes it better than everything else?
That's a dumb argument for Roman to bring up. To say, oh, my brand ambassador is better than yours, or the event that I sponsor is better than yours. It's kind of silly. I don't know why. Maybe he makes a point, but I don't know why you would mention
what events does FP Journe sponsor? Are they in F1? Are they in the NFL? Are they in FIFA?
I don't know.
No. Patek?
They're the exclusive sponsor of Eddie's watches, by the way.
Yes.
Speedy Hernandez, member of the OC channel for 12 months, coming up on a full year of membership. This channel is my favorite circle of jerk for pure entertainment purposes. True. The nonsensical hype beast arguments are worth the price of admission. Guys, if you are not a member of this channel, you are missing out on membership-only perks. If you have a star next to your name, click on the currency icon in the chat, that dollar bill or the pound note or whatever the fuck it is. Click on it. You may have a free member milestone chat. Use it before you lose it here. Let's continue. Thank you, Speedy, for being a member. Roman is wrong on Blancpain being the first, but who cares? Who cares? All of these arguments don't really matter. Thank you, Dear Artifact, for being in the chat, though, and thank you for being a member.
Pimp, Dear Artifact. Let's go.
Let's go.
For Hublot times. Meanwhile, in a short 20 years, Hublot did manage to do a few other things, being the first luxury watch brand to be FIFA's official timekeeper. First full-scale collaboration with Ferrari, leading to the Tech Frame, which is the first Ferrari-designed watch ever. The Mecha 10, first in-house 10.
I feel like he's reading like a bullet list of like Hublot's corporate fact sheet.
Wait. Mecha 10 hour. Go back.
Mecha 10, baby.
Power reserve movement with the racket.
Shout out to Evan G, who's in the chat. Evan G rocking the white gold blue ombre day date as his daily piece. He roached for the crown, guys. He roached for the crown, like all of us should be doing. Roach for the crown, guys.
I need this 10-day power reserve for when I do my vacuum naps for 10 days and I don't move.
It's an achievement. There's no doubt about it. It is an engineering achievement.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. If another brand made a 40-day power reserve watch, is now Hublot bad? No. You like, all right, you get what I'm saying. I know you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think he's just establishing the fact that they're a legitimate watch brand. That's not, I think he's just trying to,
they're innovating on things that people don't give a shit about.
Wait. You keep on saying that. You keep on mocking the things he's saying. It's literally, you're literally acting like a school child. You're mocking things instead of considering what they really mean.
37 and a half years old. Don't you ever call me a school child.
Well, when you go, ooh, what do you think you sound like? You're literally
like
not.
A man.
Oh, shit. Okay. All right. Gentlemen, great conversation. I'm going to check out now because I have to have dinner with my daughter, so I'm just making dinner. Thanks, everyone, for the conversation. I appreciate it. Great show.
All right. Thanks, Dr. Kevin Moore, everyone jumping in and coming to the defense of Hublot. And I think he did a very good job. And the piece that he showed, by the way, was beautiful. No doubt about it. I think most people would say that's a great fucking looking watch.
Opinion style indicator. The first watch case made out of Saxum, sapphire aluminum oxide, which is a rare earth material, which is actually tougher than sapphire.
Happened?
But the point is,
where's the audio?
You can't hear it?
No.
I can hear it. Can you guys hear it? Is everything okay? Let me know in the chat. Okay, hold on. Maybe something happened.
they have not been around like other company for hundreds of years. And guess what? Who knows what?
Double check like something changed with your headset or something like that. Sometimes it could go out of one side of the speaker and not the other. Audio check, guys. Audio check in the chat. Okay, audio good.
Okay,
thank you.
They would have accomplished had they been. What they did in 20 years sure seems to me like a good start to building a heritage.
Last and definitely not least is the resale value. Other brands just don't appreciate.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Like, this is like part of the key, the core criticism of Hublot today in the current environment, current climate, because we are very, very cost and value conscious as consumers. So let's see. I don't know who this fucking guy is. I've never seen his channel, and I definitely don't want to promote him. Let's see what he says. We're on to the next topic, which is value, Diego, value.
And definitely not least is the resale value. Other brands just don't appreciate like a Hublot.
Who wants to resell that watch anyway? Because no one wants to buy that thing in the first place.
And if we feel it's the wrong move for them, and they're buying a Hublot, for example, that will could potentially lose 30% of its value the day they're buying it, that's exactly what we tell them.
It's like putting a paint job on a 2002 Camry.
Last, and as you said,
okay, let's hear Roman's response to that. But first, dear Artifact, I reminded him and it worked. Member for 13 months of the OC channel. Who cares to defend any brand anyway? Buy what you like and spend time enjoying the watch as opposed to convincing others why they should like it too. I think that's a good point. It's like you're never going to be able to convince people to like something that they don't like. So if people don't like Hublot, if a certain percentage of people or a certain segment of people don't like Hublot, you're probably not going to win them over very easily. Thank you, dear Artifact. Let's hear. I'm going to replay this a little bit, and then we'll hear Roman's response.
Value. Other brands just don't depreciate like a Hublot.
Who wants to resell that watch anyway? Because no one wants to buy that thing in the first place.
And if we feel it's the wrong move for them, and they're buying a Hublot, for example, that will could potentially lose 30% of its value the day they're buying it, that's exactly what we tell them.
It's like putting a paint job on a 2002 Camry.
Last, and as you said, definitely not least, is the resale value. This is not even an argument. Just because we went through a COVID craze, which resulted in certain brands selling over MSRP, does not make them better watches than others. I'm going to go back to trends because speaking from personal experience, I can tell you, I remember the time when Frank Mueller and Kiesler traded at list over, and at the same time, you could not give a Richard Mille away. When I'm in Bar Harbor Mall and I walk out by my favorite brands, boutique, Audemars Piguet, there's nothing available for sale yet.
Audemars? Do you pronounce it Audemars? How what
No,
the
I
pronunciation is? I don't pronounce it Audemars. It's Autumn. I never say the S on the end of Audemars.
You get to the Hublot boutique in the same mall, people inside buying watches, walking out with bags.
They are, because I've been to the Hublot boutiques, and for the last 2 months, they've been fucking ghost towns.
Yep,
They're not
cobwebs
they,
at the doors.
Absolute cobweb. We went inside Hublot, and they flat out told us they're not even getting watches. I mean, like the whole Swiss industry, they're not shipping watches out of Switzerland right now because of the tariffs. And by the way, breaking news, we could be getting a tariff deal with Switzerland by the end of the week. A rumor is that that meeting that Rolex CEO Jean-Frédéric Dufour, along with the president of Richemont Group and one of the representatives from Partners Group, which owns and operates Breitling, they met with President Trump. They kind of urged him to, like, hey, can you please like help us like jumpstart these discussions? And they've been negotiating. Hopefully, we get a deal with Switzerland before the end of the week, in time for the holiday buying season.
And Patek's got egg on their face.
I mean, Patek raised prices on September 15th by a whopping 15%. And we will see if what happens when tariffs come down. If hopefully they come down soon.
Hublot chooses to have products available rather than going the wait list route. Somewhere during the COVID craze, it became trend.
Why is he?
Just said Hublot chooses to have products available instead of having wait lists. Why is Roman?
Yeah, they don't know, but
That's
no
just
brand
a
chooses
straight up
that.
lie. That's just a lie, dude. If they were selling out, there'd be wait lists at Hublot. Come on,
And they would welcome it with open arms. They would. They would
have
love to be
exhibition
able.
only. They'd have journeys. I mean, come on, dude. Oh no! See, they choose. They produce more than they can sell.
They want
So
to
that
have an
people don't have to
abundance.
wait.
That's right. They want to have an abundance of supply because they want to give the consumers a lot of choice and convenience in being able to walk out with a watch that day. That's why they do it.
Here's the boardroom meeting at Hublot. All right, gentlemen, how many watches did we sell last year? 10,000. 10,000? We're going to produce 40,000 because I don't want one customer having to wait more than a day for a watch.
Guys, we at some point we topped over 70 viewers a couple of minutes ago. That's amazing on the original OC channel, which is like just some little tiny watch channel. Let's keep going. We're almost at the end of this video, and then we'll hear Nico's response, which isn't too kind. I actually don't want to play it, but we might have to.
Over, and at the same time, you could not give a Richard Mille away. When I'm in Bar Harbor Mall and I walk out by my favorite brands, boutique, Audemars Piguet, there's nothing available for sale yet. When you get to the Hublot boutique,
So like that's terrible. Like AP is bad because they don't have watches to sell. Hublot good.
in the same mall, people inside buying watches, walking out with bags because Hublot chooses to have products available rather than go.
They choose. I mean, you nailed it, Diego. That phrasing. they choose to have products available rather
on
than
the wait list route.
rather than the wait lists, which he knows that there's no such thing as wait lists. It's talking about demand exceeding supply. Therefore, you're not able to produce as many as people want.
I got dinner. I got to go. This is fun.
All right. Thank you, Diego M, for joining. All right, it's back to me, which is bad. Bad news for you guys. Very bad news for you guys that there's now only me on the panel. So here's what we'll do. I'll drop the link. If somebody else wants to, if you think you can replace Dr. Kevin Moore or Diego on the panel, boom, there's the link. Click on the link. Make sure you have a camera, blah, blah, blah. You're in the show. But they didn't choose. They didn't choose to make product available, easily available, rather than going the waitlist route, guys. The waitlist. Shout out to Ozempic and Mounjaro. And shout out to Team Ilaria. I'm rocking the AP Royal Oak again today. All right, keep going.
Out with bags because Hublot chooses to have products available rather than go on the wait list route. Somewhere during the COVID craze, it became trendy, again, there's that word, to show what's
it's a word that he keeps using. I mean, yes, there are trends, but it's not trendy to bash Hublot. It's not trendy to defend them.
Indexes and the rise of pricing and dubbing watches as an investment, which turned into a buy.
He was the key proponent of trying to dupe the watch community and all of his customers that watches were good investments. He's gonna send me over the fucking rails if he attempts to go down this route. This is the first time I've seen this video. If he thinks if he's gonna be criticizing people who push watches as investments, he was the chief person on YouTube promoting brands as investments. Gerard Perregaux, Nixon, a whole bunch of shit. But every video, remember, he's the one who famously put up the chart of 2022 of the Hulk going up when the Hulk had dropped 20% in value. We have all those charts. We have all those charts. You better not go down this route because OC is going to go off. It's not going to be good. It's not going to be good.
To show watch indexes and the rise of pricing and dubbing watches.
He's the one. He did watch index. He did charts. Remember the charts? He came out with the chart for all the chart for the Hulk and the chart for the Daytona. And they all showed. Let me see this way. They all showed this for 2022 when the prices had actually done this, and he was just flat out deceiving. I'm trying to be polite. He was flat out deceiving the watch buying space. He put out fake charts showing the fucking Hulk going up when it had gone down by 20%. This is not a topic he wants to talk about. This is the wrong thing to mention, my friend. I was trying to bring peace to the Middle East. It's all going fucking pear-shaped. He's going to bring up indexes and positioning watches investments. Are you kidding me? Every fucking week they did videos saying that these watches were good investments. Even at the same time that he knew the prices were dropping. Remember, he did videos saying we reached the bottom of the market. Oh, it's September. Things are coming back. Oh, back to school. The prices will go back up again. Oh, remember, we reached the bottom. How many videos week after week? And when we came here, we came on these streams week after week after week, and we showed the watch community that the prices were going down every week, down every week. They went down 36 consecutive months. And 4 or 5 months that they were going down, he was not being 100% truthful, And he was saying that the prices were going back up, and he was wrong every single time he said it. Don't be bringing up indexes and criticizing people who said watches were investments, because there's nobody was in the middle of that more than this guy.
Indeed, again, there's that word, to show watch indexes and the rise of pricing and dubbing watches as an investment, which turned into a buying frenzy. Well, ask a client today that paid $60K for a steel Daytona if it was a good investment. Now,
he was one of the people when the Daytona went from 60 to 50. He was one of the people saying that we reached the bottom. When the Hulk dropped from 30 to 27, he was the one who said we reached the bottom, guys. It's going to go back up.
let's bring back that 2002 Toyota Camry that you brought up. Someone did buy that car brand new, and when he drove it off the lot, lost a ton of value. And someday that car will be actually completely.
This doesn't help Hublot. This just doesn't help Hublot. Vimal says no fiking way. Wasn't Roman the one with edited price charts showing watches only going up? Yes, 100%. We don't forget. We're not going to forget that. We remember. We have all the charts still. We put them up. It's a matter of record at this point. Yeah. Outrageous.
Worth it and end up in a junkyard. Yet I don't think the original buyer complained or ever thought about complaining. Yet watches.
Okay, so now he wants to say that watches should depreciate just like cars. Okay? If you buy a car, you don't complain that it depreciates and it's worth nothing, or it's worth 50% of its value in 3 years. So why should you complain if the same thing happens with an Hublot? Does this argument hold water? Do you agree with this argument that we should be treating watches like cars? And if they depreciate 50% over 3 years, you know what? It's unrealistic for us to assume that watches should be holding value or appreciating. That's a ridiculous notion. Gatsby in the chat. Thank you, Gatsby, for being a member for 14 months. Who even knew that this channel was even a thing for 14 months? Gatsby says, I think it's quite obvious that Roman's script was written by or with the Hublot marketing team, a group that is second only to AP's in terms of its misguided thinking and tone deafness. Gatsby, by the way, is one of the top 3 members of the OC channel. Shout out to Gatsby. Just a huge supporter of this channel. I can't tell you guys how much Gatsby has helped, not just this channel, but other channels, the entire watch community. He doesn't like discriminate. He watches a bunch of stuff, no loyalty tests, and he supports lots of different streams. But Gatsby is literally one of the top 3 contributors to this channel. So I really do appreciate it. We all kind of owe him a debt of gratitude for sharing his wisdom and knowledge with everybody. And he's in Canada, so he's super nice. I think. Maybe I'll meet Gatsby one day in person. I hope to. But thank you, Gatsby, for everything that you do. And good point, by the way. Good point. All right, here we go. We're at the last 10 seconds of the video.
This is somehow different. This brings me to what I've always been saying. A watch is not an investment, but an expensive toy. Buy what.
But he's quoting Roman Scharf at the end. By the way, I want to leave you with a quote from a very famous watch expert, Roman Scharf. Let's see what a watch is not an investment. It's an expensive toy. Okay. He was the one in 2021 and 2022 that said that watches were investments. He's the one. He's the one. Buy what you like within the means you can afford. This is awful advice. I've always said buy what you like is terrible advice. But especially when you couple it with buy what you like within the means you can afford. Ugh. I don't know who this Roman Scharf guy is. You
like first and
Roman. Roman is quoting Roman here. You know that. Don't buy what you love, guys. Don't buy what you love.
Foremost within the means you can afford. While some chase hype, investments, trends, buy for the reason you want to buy.
He was encouraging people to chase hype and investments. He was the one doing that.
Now, while you did a great job as a social media personality, as a watch dealer, you just alienated yourself from thousands and thousands of potential clients. Investments, trends, buy for the reason you want to buy it. Now, while you did a great job as a social media personality, as a watch dealer, you just alienated yourself from thousands and thousands of potential clients.
Okay. Okie doke. That was the video. I watched it for the first time along with you guys. You saw my legitimate reaction, my real world, real-time reaction. So now, I wish we could have peace. I really wish we could have peace. We need peace in the Middle East, guys. Over 60 people watching, 66 on YouTube, and 2 on Tinder. What's up, guys? If you're on Tinder, head on over to YouTube, leave a comment. Let us know you came over from Tinder. Now, all that being said, now, by the way, Nico has a response. Okay. But before we go there, let's look at the comment section. Let's look at the comment section, guys. Let's look at the comment section. All right. 98 comments. 98 comments here. And all right. Let's look at so this is the Roman video. Am I sharing the right screen here? Hold on a second. Boom. All right. Let's go through the comments. Yeah, Vimal, I believe you. No one forgot. No one forgot the videos with the charts. Okay. No one forgot that. Let's read some of the comments here, and then we'll go to Nico's response. If you want to spend several thousands for Hamilton calibers, just say so. Hamiltons are awesome for the money. Hublot is shit for the money. As a watch seller and enthusiast, you have to admit that it's not a bad watch. It's the prices that they dare to ask for it that make it a, quote, shit brand. There are watches that use the same movement, but they realize they can't ask tens of thousands of dollars more for them. Here's a comment that says sponsored by Hublot. That's really an important point, is that he was paid to make this video. Proving everyone's point about marketing, the first luxury watch brand to be FIFA official timekeeper, ? Simple as this. Nico's watch business doesn't sell Hublot. Roman's watch business does sell Hublot. Very good. Very fascinating point there. We're all guided and biased by our financial interests. Look who's been paid by Hublot for this advertisement. You can go through you're going to destroy all the credibility that you've built by arguing that engraving that little Geneva stripes or skeletonizing a rotor on a Sellita movement makes you equal to Rolex or Omega in terms of lasting and working, and therefore justifying the ridiculous price. Not the hill to die on. Feels like a paid ad. Hard pass. I look at Hublot the same way as Frank Mueller. Made some crazy piece in the past, but majority of their watches today are meh or muh, according to Nico. Really enjoy the knowledge. There you go. There's a lot of knowledge in that video. Comparing watches from the 70s to modern Hublot discredits your argument. Not sure why you did that. If they are so good, how come they all sell for under retail? Interesting. I never hated Hublot, but I really like their watches. But their entry-level models never felt like they were worth the price in terms of specs and finishing. Interesting. Unsubscribed. The guy says unsubscribed. Seems like people either love or hate Hublot, but nothing in between. It's a competitive market, guy. Competitive. Super competitive. Okay. It is a competitive market. Gatsby is here with another super chat. Thank you very much, Gatsby. Having now seen Roman's video in its entirety, there is no good reason for him to have called out Nico by name. That seemed strangely personal. And I have to wonder if that was done at the prompting of Hublot. That's an interesting point. That's an interesting point. Did Hublot actually say, like, hey, make sure we want you to call out this guy who's been attacking our brand for the past couple of years and making like being a thorn in our side, like he neutralized this thorn in our side for us. Thank you, Gatsby. Really appreciate the comment. Johnny O in Chicagoland, $5 super chat. Congratulations, OC. You're on a roll with a stream of great streams. They keep getting better and very entertaining. Great job. Thank you, man. That means a lot. By the way, Jizzo Club, we're in talks with Jizzo Club to be on this show. Stay tuned. It'll happen without warning. It may happen tomorrow. We may be doing the Jizzo Club interview right here. I'm being on. I talked with him. Very nice guy. He says he wants to come on. He wants to come on and chat. I think there's nothing wrong. I think that shows a lot of. That shows a lot of. I don't know if courage is the right word, but I think that's a very mature thing to do. He reached out. We had a conversation. I think that's a very mature thing of him to do. I, on the other hand, I'm very immature. I do reaction videos for clicks. That's what I do. It's entertainment. It's like I'm retired. I got nothing else to do. But thank you, Johnny O. Thank you, Gatsby. Very nice comments. I do these streams for you guys, man. I really do. They're fun, but come on. Doing a stream for 2 hours, it's not easy. It's not easy. I do it for you guys. I do it to entertain you guys. I hope you, and I know you guys appreciate it. I know you do. Vimal, member for 14 months. I think that's a record. Didn't Roman put out an Hublot factory visit video and Nico called him out for taking money? Buckley should interview Jizzo. The kid might learn something. We're going to do a very friendly, a very cordial and mature interview with Jizzo. He's going to share a story. And yet, will we deliver the hard questions? Absolutely. Will we scrutinize him? He's down for that. He knows that. He knows that he deserves some criticism. And I think it's going to be therapeutic for him to kind of hear it from people in the chat and people on the panel. It's going to be an open panel. It's going to be no fucking holds barred with the Jizzo Club. He's a perfectly nice guy. Perfectly nice guy. But thank you for the comment, Vimal. Thank you for being a member. Appreciate it. We appreciate all 70 members. 70 members of the OC channel. I'm not shy about saying that. I'm transparent. We have 70 members here. All people who pay every single month to support the channel and to show their appreciation. Then we've got people at Gatsby. They're in the top 3. Famal is up there too. Famal's up there, but not technically in the top 3, but he's pretty high up there. Okay. Do I even want to play this? Not sure if I want to play it. I don't want to encourage a fake rivalry or like a feud. We should not have a feud. We should be putting this to bed. This is silly. This is silliness. Why did Roman have to do that? Why did Roman have to do that? The first time ever that Jizzo is now in the zeitgeist of watch culture. I mean, it is. He did it. The guy's now a social media celebrity. First time that the words Jizzo and mature were ever used in the same sentence. The Jizzo Club, The Interview, is coming to the original channel. Coming soon. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. It'll be totally above board. And it'll be all in good fun. All right. Here we go, guys. If you want to jump on the stream, jump on. If Roman wants to come on, maybe Roman wants to. If Roman wants to come on and tell him that he's apologizing to Nico and that he's going to take the stream down, and that he's going to just fully disclose that he was paid by Hublot for that video, I think that's a great healing step. And I think Nico should really ignore Roman going forward. We just want peace, guys. We want healing. We're all going to be in Dubai together. Let's just get along. So this is one of Nico's responses. It is a post on Instagram. What's up, Jonathan Smith? See you in the chat here. MJ's back in the chat. What's up, MJ? All right, let's do it. Let me back to the video. Here we go. First of all, you guys, let me know, by the way, if the audio works, because I just got a message in StreamYard that I might have to check something. So let me know. I'm going to play a little bit. You tell me if the audio is there. No audio? No audio. Okay, cool. Hold on a second. Bear with me. Bear with me. Remove. Hold on. I have to do something here. Okay. Then this. All right. Hold on. We're going to fix it. We're going to fix it, guys. We can do it. All right. right, now you let me know. Let me know if there is audio.
You not disclosing that you're paid and this is me minding my own business, my first day off of 2025. Well, it's not really my first, to be fair, because I was also off in 2nd and the 3rd of January.
Okay, audio check. Can you hear the Nico clip now? Let me know. Okay, all good? All right. Need confirmation. Good? Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. Team effort. I love my team of producers here. All right, let's get to it. Start from the beginning. Nico's response on Instagram.
This is me minding my own business, my first day off of 2025. Well, it's not really my first, to be fair, because I was also off in 2nd and the 3rd of January. So it's my 3rd day off, minding my own business, trying to relax with the kids. And all of a sudden I get bombarded by messages. Oh, Roman, this, that. I'm like, Roman, why are you doing this? Like, why are you cloud chasing? Where's this desperation coming from? I have said my thing, you said your thing, simple as, it's done. And like this Hublot thing is getting old, man. It's getting old. Like, people are allowed to like Hublot. We know, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong if you like Hublot. It's funny, but there's nothing wrong with it. Where is something wrong with is you and not disclosing the fact you're being paid, and that's a problem, right? You not disclosing that you're paid and this is an entire advertisement campaign. That's a problem. And now all of a sudden, hear that. It's my daughter crying. Like, lad,
Hublot's making her
there's
cry.
no need for this. Like, I couldn't care less. Stop doing this. You're an adult. You're 50 plus or something. And I used to look up to you, mate. Like, you and I are on a complete different level now. Shall we just leave it there, yeah? Thank you. This is me.
Okay. Wow. Wow. He writes in his comment here, Roman, I used to respect you, even looked up to you, but now it's clear I've outgrown the so-called mentor who turned out to be just another sellout. I'm on a whole different level, and I won't be looking back at those who traded integrity for a quick buck. Wow. Wow. Tough. I really think that this is just all to do over nothing. We can, we need to bring the healing process here. Let's see. And then let me go to the stories here. You guys can see this, right? Correct? All right, I'm going to play this. You guys let me know. Let me know if it's working. Well, all right here.
Sure, it actually annoys the bollocks out of me because of Eisenhower.
Okay, this one says Roman. Looks like Roman Sharf advertising looks like the Roman Sharf advertising campaign is backfiring. This is a story from Nico Leonard. And this is a screenshot of a comment. The comment says, you're going to destroy all the credibility that you've built. Okay. Here's another story from Nico. It says, Roman, I used to respect you. Ooh. That's the same quote that I just said earlier. And then another story here with some comments. This is Nico responding here. So Nico says, sure, I might have eliminated a few potential customers, but I'd rather stand tall with my dignity intact than ever be labeled a sellout. Integrity over everything, Roman. As well, if someone reported you for undisclosed advertising, you should lose your social accounts. I hope you enjoyed that sweet $20,000.
This is me minding my own business.
And then that's the story related to the post that he made here. Let's see. Comments. Nico is lost, says John D. John D, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the chat. Nico's lost in his own egotistical sauce, trying to start drama with Roman, another shady character. Who started it? I don't know. I don't know who started it, but like, this is all silly. Nico should stop bashing Hublot. These two should stop going at each other. And Roman, they should all delete the videos, and Roman should disclose that he was paid to do this video. Actually, delete the video. Start from scratch. It's a bad video. Gatsby says, I really do like Nico, but after his recent visit to this channel and his post, I noticed he has become very fond of reminding people how much more successful he is than they are. Not a good look. He does. He's boastful of his of accomplishments and hard work. True. These guys. Hey, we got Buckley in the chat. These guys are talking like mobsters. LOL. It's just so silly. It's so silly. Hublot, you're gonna like Hublot. You're not gonna like Hublot. I don't know. Guys, I'm done. Unless someone wants to jump on the panel and talk about this, I am done. I don't want to talk about it any longer. We listen, it was newsworthy, so we talked about it. And we gave each side their fair shake. Each side had a chance to come on. Nobody did, but I hope that they bury the hatchet. And I hope they this is just silly nonsense. We need peace. We need peace in the Middle East. This quote, says John D, from this overweight 5'5" used jewelry salesman is comical. Talking like he's done something special in the used jewelry space. Please. There's some Nico detractors. There are Nico detractors for sure. Gatsby says, oh, see, he's not just boastful. He was very demeaning to a couple of people on your channel the other day. That's true. He was. And those people like John D. And John D., you, Gatsby, Brody. Who else? Jorn Identity. These people are pretty much my friends. So I'll always have their back and always defend them against anybody who attempts to criticize them. And those were, I think, that's Nico being Nico, very over the top. He was acting like we were doing live streams from 3 years ago rather than live streams today. He's not familiar that this channel is a different level of channel now. But I've chatted with almost all of those people, and they've all said that it was all in good fun, and they get it. Not trying to brag, says Rhino Freight. I super chatted to defend your honor, Nico. I said if I had to choose between you and him, I'm pushing. Okay, I super chatted to defend your honor to Nico, John D. I'm pushing Nico off the plane. See you guys in a week or so. Are you going to be in Dubai? You're going to be in Dubai. Let me know. I'm there. I'm there with Nico and Roman and Air King Ben and Chalk Flew Up and Logan Hall. We got a big group going. CQ the Watch Guy. $55 people watching, but I don't want to let you down. But I think I'm done. I think I'm down. So we'll do this. We'll do 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning. Someone jumps on the panel and provides their own thoughts. No one wants to hear what I have to say. I'm just I'm like Walter Cronkite. I'm bringing you the news. I'm bringing you the breaking news in the watch space. But look at Nico's a friend of mine. Roman, I don't have anything against him. But that's it. That's it. 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning. We'll kill the stream unless somebody jumps on, or customary $2 super chat to extend the show by 2 minutes. But listen, there's nothing else to say. I covered all the news, guys. There's certainly no watch news today, right? No watch news. I mean, the only news that is kind of important that we really haven't covered, which I will now cover briefly. And I'll bring up an article. I think I brought this up yesterday. And I mentioned it earlier. The United States and Switzerland working on a deal to slash 39% tariffs. And we're hopeful that that will be in place before the end of the week. Patek Chris, hi OC. What did I miss? You missed a lot. It's a 3-hour live stream. We're done. Go back to the beginning. We're going to end the stream. We'll go back to the beginning. Unless someone wants to jump on and do a surprise unboxing. By the way, there may be private unboxings. There may be members-only unboxings coming up. Become a member. Buckley says Nico and Roman will box on the White House lawn. No, we need to wait for that new ballroom. We need to wait for that giant ballroom. We'll put the boxing ring right in the middle of that fancy ballroom. C3D now. First comment of the night. 3 hours into the show, and that's the way it was. Thursday, November 12th, 2025. No one even knows what that's a reference. No one even knows. This is a blast from the past. I guess sharks really do bite sharks. Remember that? Sharks don't bite. You guys have a good memory. You have a very good memory. That's the show. That's the show, guys. Let me just see what else is going on. Let me see if anybody else is anybody else streaming right now? Nobody else is streaming. No wonder you guys are watching this. There's nothing else is on. That explains it. That'll explain it. That's why you guys are putting up with low quality content. But guys, if you're in the Philadelphia area, come out and see me at the 1916 Company Watch Fair this Friday and Saturday. I will be there, and I will be the official exclusive live streaming platform from the 1916 Company Watch Fair. Check out my videos on YouTube and Instagram. head on over to the 1916 Company on Instagram or the1916company.com for more information. MJ says, I'm streaming at 8:30 p.m. Private stream, guys. We're doing a private stream at MJ. The kind of watches that this community is getting behind the scenes. You've seen some of the public unboxings. Behind the scenes, the unboxings are mind-blowing. Mind-blowing, guys. Buckley's firing up his OnlyFans. Thank you. He's not the only person on OnlyFans, by the way, in the colony. Buckley's is very popular, but we have others. There are other OFs, guys. Macallan Drinker, very late to the party. I'll catch the replay. Catch the replay. Upvote the live stream. You can leave a super thanks, by the way, if you're watching this on the replay and you finally got to the end of this 3-hour stream, you can do a super thanks. That's it. You guys can go now. We're done. We got 53 people watching on YouTube and 1 on Grindr. Interesting. I think it's Double Crown. Double Crown's on Grindr, right? All right, you guys can go now. We're done. Peace. See, I got nothing to talk about. Nothing. I got nothing going on. The chat is dead. The chat is dead, which means that you guys are just like you're making dinner or you're doing something else, taking out the trash and listening in. All right. Jonathan Smith, what's up? All right, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. I was hoping for peace. Hopefully we achieved it. Hopefully these guys will see the stream. They'll realize like this is silly. And we're done. We'll be done. Fair enough? Does anybody want to jump on the panel? Last 1 minute. Last 1 minute to join the stream. Does anybody want to risk being seen on the same panel with Satan? Probably not. Is there any other watch news out there? Any other watch news you want me to cover? I'm happy to cover it if it's newsworthy and if it's about a brand that I like. Let me know. Okay. That's it. Guys, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Thank you to Renee Delapon. I want to thank Brody, Vimal, Double Crown, Speedy Hernandez, Dear Artifact, Gatsby, and Johnny O for all the super chats and the member chats. You guys are the best. You guys are awesome. Love all you guys. And we will catch you. Let's see, what's tomorrow? Friday? Tomorrow's Thursday. Tomorrow's Thursday, then Friday. Is that how it goes? Thursday, then Friday. What comes after Friday? Sunday? Friday, Saturday. I think it's Friday, Saturday. Yeah, okay. Do I do a stream on Thursday? Nah, I don't need to do a stream tomorrow. I think I'm good. I'm hungry. I haven't had dinner. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Upvote the stream. Everybody upvote. Everybody upvote. Make sure you enable notifications. By the way, you know that 20% of the people that watch this channel aren't even subscribed. And that's a very static, a very consistent figure. That 20% of the people that watch this show on a regular basis never even bother subscribing. Come on, just subscribe. I mean, come on. Subscribe and enable notifications. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not going to know you subscribed. It's kind of a secret thing. Anyway, peace out, guys. And Have an amazing night. We will catch you on. How about this? If you want to join me for a quick after show, I'll stay for a couple minutes. If you're afraid to be on the stream, but you want to hang out with me for 5 minutes, boom, there's the link. VIP after show with OC. See ya.